So we can't give it to her, you know.
14!
Ace 14 is Pilar.
I am so excited for you. So excited.
Comes back with deep in front. McCarty cross. McCarty in behind. Stop! And the Devils have gone. Down McCarty.
Signal. I'm not saying it was intentional, but
what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to The Hook right here on Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl in for Pilar. I'll be the quarterback, I guess you would say, today. You guys know the offensive lineman for this show, of course, the four-time Stanley Cup champion. He is Darren McCarty. Tom Mazaway. Updates and really the glue. He's the glue guy, I guess you would say. The Bruce Bowen of the squad, I guess would be a better way to put it. You guys
he
ready?
doesn't play that much defense.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Fuck, that's all I ever do in my whole life.
Listen,
is play defense.
when is it your show's over? Your show is up until 3. Whose show is it now, Maz?
It's yours.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Happy to have you guys along for the ride as we get ready for a July 4th weekend. You can feel it in the air, everyone. Just when you bump around town, the weather's nice. You know you're going to have some steaks on the grill, some
Forget
burgers
that.
and dogs.
Where are all those hot dogs that jam down your throat?
I know, and we'll get into that in a little
lot
bit.
of stuff going on in the city too.
Absolutely,
right? Exactly. And you actually big game in downtown, and you actually get to watch it instead of broadcast it, which has got to be a little weird.
It will be a little weird. Of course, Detroit City FC will be playing for the NISA Championship tomorrow down at Keyworth in Hamtramck, 7:30. National TV and BN Sports, limited tickets left. So go to DebtCityFC.com now if you want to get those tickets. Get your place in there tomorrow.
Say Fisher ticket.
I will.
I love the uniform. I love the spirit of Detroit.
Tell me that's not the best uniform in sports.
That is
in Detroit
so
sports.
Sweet, dude. They did a great job. And
better than the old English, do you, Neal? Come on.
No, but I'm saying as a
spirit of
new
Detroit,
one,
man.
as you
It's even
ask
more
clown,
Detroit.
the D and the wing
listen,
have been here
don't
for
start
100
with me
years.
already.
What I'm saying is when you add a new one, they're usually more cartoony or whatever. They don't have the old school. That has an old school Detroit feel to it. He's always got to compare. Always got to compare. No,
this
shout
is
out to whoever signed off on that. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, this is great. I love being between these two cats, man. This is pure entertainment gold.
I had to write him an apology the other day because I thought we yelled at each other too much.
I apologized. You never yell. Like, here's the thing. It's unfortunate because Maz just, when he's wrong all the time, I just got to correct him. I just got to keep him accountable.
Right. And that is something, unfortunately, for Maz. That seems to be the case. But, Maz, we still love you, brother.
That's it.
It's not true, though.
There hasn't been many Costanzas, though. And plus, you got to give him congratulations. He won June in his betting.
Thank you.
Sticking on that.
Gave you the
baseball.
Bucks last night.
So obviously it wasn't a
did.
percentage thing because I was 2-0 in my picks. You remember last week when I was here.
So
and I gave you the shutout.
You
I
did.
gave you the Tampa Bay
You
Lightning
did,
on the
bro.
shutout in Game 7.
And you plus.
That was a cha-ching, cha-ching.
And you moved the line.
And I moved the line in the Milwaukee game.
You did.
And I said, hey, get yourself a little sugar, 2-3-1. Get yourself all set up.
All right, put an asterisk next to Neal Ruhl's name.
Wait a sec.
I'm just saying.
You have to
Neal
go to
Ruhl's
the
an
man in the
honorable
fish
mention.
bowl. Fish for, I don't know, like he's the commissioner of the game. So how does Neal rate on his June prediction? Remember, he did
Fish.
pick. It was off the
A
wall.
shutout. I didn't say, hey,
the
take
honorable
Tampa.
mentions because they went undefeated, but it's hard because they didn't have a lot of picks. Neal
it.
went 2-0, so he wins June.
On 3-1 shots, too. Like,
Sure.
that's impressive.
Yeah.
Fish ain't impressed.
Another honorable mention is someone you guys may hate or like. Easy went 3-0 as well.
I love
Silence.
Easy. Maz?
Well, were they both 3-1 shots, though?
So those are just honorable mentions that went undefeated. So technically they won, technically they didn't.
No.
Why are we talking units?
Yeah.
You know, like that's
Doesn't count.
Whatever.
He does not count.
Whatever. Whatever.
Whatever. He's
Anyway.
not watching right now.
Who
does not
cares?
Speaking
It doesn't matter if he's watching.
Speaking of Detroit City FC, we will talk to Steven Carroll, the captain of Le Rouge. He will be joining us about 4:25 or so. Big news out of the Rocket Mortgage Classic. Of course, a lot of you have been following this whole Phil Mickelson saga. Tony Paul of the Detroit News will join us at 3:24. We'll get his take on it as well. As you said, DMac, this has become a sneaky good time of the year in sports. This late June, early July with the NBA Finals, the Stanley Cup Finals. Everything's right in the mix. Baseball, certainly. The Rocket Mortgage here in Detroit. Detroit City FC, as we talked about. There's some electricity around this town right now.
No, there is. I mean, there's something to do. And the best part, the rain went away earlier in the week. And did we ever get it? But everything's going to be green, no matter if you're going up north. A lot of people are going up north on vacation, whether they're having a barbecue. I think it's supposed to be nice throughout the state. So that's a good thing.
Shut those sprinklers
options.
Oh,
and,
that's, yeah.
And Maz, are you going
Big
to any
fan.
Tiger games this weekend?
I would, but I've got family coming in from out of town for a very short time, so it kind of kills off getting down to Comerica. Otherwise, I'd be there tonight, my usual Friday night game.
Yeah.
White Sox coming in.
Tom Mazaway. Big fireworks guy, the Maz.
not a
big fireworks guy.
Big.
We'll get you qualified for your $25,000 kick for crypto. That'll be coming up right around 4 o'clock, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Good time to get in the crypto market right now. A little bit of a dip that you can jump in on. Maz. Don't follow my financial advice. I merely do it for entertainment purposes only. Do I have to qualify that or no? I don't.
No,
right?
you're good.
Yeah, I don't know. I know people get in trouble for that kind of stuff.
This is
but
Woodward Sports.
This is Woodward Sports. Maz, get us caught up with what's going on.
You got it, guys. Brought to you by our fine sponsors here in the studio. It's mybookie.ag, mybookie.com. Don't forget, use that promo code Woodward. They'll match your first deposit halfway to $1,000. Adam's kicking butt on the soccer, by the way. You might want to follow him on that. Plenty to come up, and let's tell you about it. Tigers start a 3-game weekend series with the first place White Sox. They're in town tonight. Casey Mize, the future ace, he probably might be the ace right now, against Lance Lynn, who's a pretty darn good pitcher for them. He used to be a big Cardinals guy. The matchup at 7:10. Tigers start July after back-to-back winning months. So May and June were good months for this Tigers team. MLB placing Dodgers pitcher Trevor Bauer on a 7-day administrative leave amid those sexual allegations. We'll get into this a little bit later. This just came down the pike about 20 minutes ago. He was going to start this weekend. There was a big uproar. You can't give him the ball. All this going on. Plenty more to come on this. All-Star Game starters were announced for the July 13th game at Coors Field. It was going to be in Atlanta. They took it away from him. It's now going to be in Colorado. Shohei Ohtani, Vlad Guerrero Jr., Fernando Tatis, all heading to their first All-Star games as starters. There's the American League, and Shohei right there on deck as the DH. Of course, Mike Trout will not play in this game. He's still injured. They will have an injury replacement coming up for him. National League starters, let's put those guys up. Alex, pretty good starters there as well. Always an American League guy, so just looking for a fun game. The rest of the rosters will be announced on July the 4th. No Tigers expected to make that one, but it's coming, man. Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final tonight. Canadiens host the Lightning. Tampa Bay leads it 2-0. Montreal denied request to allow 10,500 fans into the Bell Center. So instead, they're just going to crowd them out on the street as usual. Gotta love Canada, what they're doing right now. Let's go to the NBA. No Giannis, no problem for the Bucks. They beat the Rockets last night, 123-112. They take a 3-2 series lead. Brooks Lopez, man, was all over the court. Career playoff high, 33 points. Let's listen to some Marv Albert calling some of these calls.
That pass to Gallinari off the mark. Here comes Portis. Portis all the way, banks it home. In fact, in game 2, they hit 22 three-pointers. That's been their three-point highlight of the playoffs. Oh, the favorable hop from Portis.
Marv Albert wrapping it up, man. 60 years in the broadcast business. He still sounds phenomenal. Yes! Yes! Let the
I'd
guy
rather listen to
call
Marv than
games.
Kenny.
Oh, Kenny's horrible. Not my cup of tea. Anyway, Marv wrapping it up. Hopefully they're going to play 7 in this one. $4, by the way, scored 20-plus points. Atlanta played without Trae Young. They kind of need him. They'll try to stay alive tomorrow. They host Milwaukee in Game 6. The Suns waiting for the winner in the NBA Finals, and Suns wrapped it up without you here the other day. First time they've been there since '93.
Yeah, it is, and it's kind of a tough break for the NBA, right? Because I think one of the top 15 selling NBA jerseys is still alive right now.
Is that Chris Paul?
I believe that would be Giannis.
Wow.
Yeah.
Over Chris
believe.
Paul.
Yeah, weird, huh?
Unbelievable.
No, but that is. I mean, you look from a PR perspective, probably a ratings perspective. That's tough for the NBA.
Yeah, but does it not allow eyes on some guys you might not have seen before?
And that's the rub, right? Darren is now a Devin Booker.
That's a wrestling term. I love that.
Yeah.
Use that rub.
Yeah, that's the rub. No, but a guy like Devin Booker now has a showcase. Trae Young has a showcase. Now you can introduce these guys to the world. So.
Well, yeah, and I think that the fact is that when you hear Chris Paul talk about, but we're always used to the LeBrons and
sure.
the KDs and all these different guys. So now you get the Devin Bookers and even Giannis, and even to the fact that Milwaukee team, what they did last night without Giannis. Maybe they play. It's a different game. The ball movement yesterday was a little bit not as static with him in there working it down low. So, they're as dangerous a team. They're better with him, but they certainly can play without him. But it sort of leads to a Phoenix advantage in the finals.
Yeah, how good is Chris Middleton, by the way, man?
Oh man, he's a former Piston.
Somebody said it the other day perfectly. He's the most consistently inconsistent player in the league. When he's on,
sure.
He's on. When he's not, he's not.
Plenty more coming up on that. HBO has made their choice for Hard Knocks. Are you ready? It's America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? For the third time, they will be on HBO's Hard Knocks, the 20th anniversary. That's a 5-part series. It's always fun. Liev Schreiber with the great commentary. What a voice he has.
You know what? I know that the Lions were in talks or whatever because of the team that hadn't done it, but this sets up for next year. I almost would rather see the Lions, get a Hard Knocks after 1 year into this regime.
Well, I think HBO has that stipulation, or the NFL does, that you're not allowed to cover a first-year head coach. That's what I'm understanding.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they would have been a hell of a team to cover.
But I think even next year it'll be better, right? Once they establish, some game time, some rub, we get some film.
Yep.
We see the intensity, the different things coming out of there. So
we're going to talk about this a little bit later. Rocket Mortgage Classic leaderboard. Let's go to Darren McCarty on 18.
No. We're on. Actually, we're on 7 right now.
On 7.
Ricky Fowler's teeing off. He's got a good round going. He's 3 under for the day, making him 6 under. But the leader in the clubhouse, as of right now, yes.
Get in the hole!
Like a fish.
Watching that live action.
Joaquin Neiman is 10 under with a 3 under round today. It looks like the scores today, the weather and the water might be affecting guys, but Brandon Hagee,
Light the candle.
Thompson's still up there. I want to send a shout out to Troy Merritt. Troy Merritt at 9 under, 1 back. Why do I bring it up? Because he had the wicked awesome experience of playing with Chad Johnson, Jerry Jones, the man upstairs. He rubbed some greatness off on him. Troy Merritt, there you go, 1 back. So I'm just saying, wicked awesome out there, Troy. Go get her done. So Phil is even for the day at 3 under. 3 under is the cut. We will be talking more about
coming up in a second.
What he's talking about. Oh, sorry. Yep. I just got a bad sneer by the Ricky's caddy there. We're going to give it back to you, Maz. But right now it's 10 under. But
okay.
The lowest Russell Knox shot is 7 under is a low for the day. So.
Hideki Matsuyama, the Masters champion, by the way, had to bow out of this one. Positive COVID test. He shot a 70 yesterday, so he was 2 under, right around where they're going to cut this thing off. But
did you say bow out because he's Japanese?
No, I just
very respectful.
Just came up with that.
Oh, okay.
On the fly.
I thought that was funny.
Matsuyama is gone. He has left Detroit. Now, let's take on this day in sports. Let's go back to 2006, and Gary Matthews, another junior here, he robbed the Astros. Check this catch out.
There goes, and Lamb hits it in the air to center field. Looking for the single. Instead, he's got... What a catch by Gary Matthews Jr.
That was unbelievable.
To take away a homer.
That was perfect extension.
You might have seen the catch of the year right there.
You may not see a better catch than that. all year,
Scooped it.
maybe for a decade. This is a marvelous
You'll never see a
play.
better catch than that
Finds
one.
the
In terms of
wall,
the
look at-
plants the foot.
Oh,
Gets
and he had
never
to
see
grab
another
the
one.
How have I never seen that before? That's crazy.
That's why you got me,
Thanks, man.
son.
Well, Alex, because it's the standard definition days. That's why.
Yeah. See,
The old
I was a little
SD
too
days.
young.
See those old, those ugly Astro uniforms back then? I'm glad they went away from
aspect
those.
ratio.
Yeah, I'm glad they went away. They did go to the World Series with those. They lost though.
You didn't like the maroon?
It was okay. I didn't really like it.
I wasn't feeling it either, man.
I like the old rainbows still. The old,
I think they should still play in the Astrodome.
I do too. I love the House of Pain. No question.
Of course you do,
course I
man. I don't really love the Astrodome. I just said that because I knew that's what you
know
would say.
I love the
Maz.
Dome.
I know you do.
All they do now and there are rodeos. So, at least it's still alive. That's
Still
all I
around.
care about.
Absolutely, Maz. Appreciate it.
You got
He'll
it,
check
man.
back in at the top of the next hour, get you caught up with everything that's going on. Brian Stewart, too, Oakland Golden Grizzlies golf great, hanging there with Phil Mickelson at 3 under. So just wanted to get that out there. We'll take our first break. When we come back, we'll get into the whole Phil Mickelson stuff. Speaking of the Rocket Mortgage Classic, lots of news coming out with Phil, who has had some spat with the local media. Tony Paul of the Detroit News will join us coming up at 3:24 to discuss that and the other stuff going on as well. You're watching The Hook right here on the Woodward Sports Network. Start a new career in an industry that is always essential, the heating and cooling industry. Learn more today by visiting northwesterntech.edu. Welcome back to Woodward Sports Network, The Hook. Neal Ruhl in for PIlar, Tom Mazaway, DMac, Darren McCarty with us. As always, happy to have you along wherever you're watching, the Facebook page, YouTube, Twitter, however you're doing it. We're certainly glad that you are. I know everyone's feeling it, man. Feeling good weather and everything like that. Something that maybe has not been as good. And a lot of you have saw this, certainly if you're a golf fan, you've seen this story as well. Phil Mickelson has come out and said he probably won't be coming back to the Rocket Mortgage Classic. And Maz, just to bring everybody up to speed on that, the Detroit News kind of reran a story. What was the time frame on that? Or the
It was
original
about 14 years ago. Robert Snell brought it back from the Detroit News. He kind of said, he did bring it back. It's basically a story that was written about Phil and a gambling winnings that he took back. $500,000 he won from a bookie in Grosse Pointe, and he was never paid on it. And the bookie admitted, look, I never paid on it because I didn't have the money. A bookie that didn't have the money. That's a Seinfeld episode, by the way. They've actually done one like that. How could you be a bookie?
Of course they did.
How could you be a bookie if you can't pay? Nonetheless, Phil didn't want this rehashed. And we all know he's a big sports fan and a big gambler. I guess he comes here, and what he said in his little press conference, I wish we could play it for you, but the PGA's got their thumb on everybody. But nonetheless, he basically said, look, I love Detroit. I came here. I usually wouldn't do a tournament like this after coming off a couple of majors a couple of weeks ago, and I'm tired. Got another major coming up. The British Open's coming up, which is pretty soon here. And he's like, I would skip a tournament like this, but I wanted to come here. The people at Rocket Mortgage were doing such good things for the city of Detroit. I wanted to put my foundation with them, but this guy, Robert Snell, had to bring this and he named them by name. And we're going to have Tony Paul on, and that's a guy that Tony works with. I'm sure he's going to have I'm sure Tony's going to be on the side of the reporter. But Phil's like, there was really no reason for you to drag that up again. And Mac, I don't know, you're an athlete. You've been in the news. Robert Snell has written about you years and years ago. I mean, I even looked and read about it. Robert Snell did write about you.
Well, the thing is, it's the truth.
It is.
Right? And the fact is, here's the point. As an athlete or whatever, like what Phil says is, I'm doing a favor. I just don't need this at the age he's at to whatever like this. So it's just unfortunate to whatever. It's making a decision where I say if I'm not doing it, then don't do it near me. That he realizes, well, why would I come here now to go out of my way, which is the truth. Like the truth sort of come out. So it's not that he's hiding from it, but it's like I don't want to go back there,
Correct.
whatever, like this. He's letting you know, but again, there's also two. It's also, you can use it as an excuse, right? You're looking for a way out or a way where I tried. It's like this.
Whatever
it didn't
fits your
work
narrative.
out. Like he's right. Phil's right? Because of making his own decision and this, but also too is that the truth comes out. Like that's the whole thing. Is it true? Is it whatever? Now, the motivations where Phil's saying, well, if I'm going to go around there and this is how. There's going to be this for somebody looking for that attention. Well, I'm not going to give them that, right? I'm not going to go there and give them the smoke, right? So it's got to balance out. But what you're seeing now is people reaching out from the community,
big time,
Metro, and saying, "No, Phil, that's not who we are." I say to Phil Mickelson, "No, that he doesn't represent bringing up the past. That reminds me of Maz." But it's like you can bring up the truth on me. He's not who I am today, not whatever else. But it makes it when Phil says that I'm going out of my way because look at his schedule. Look where he lives. Look, he's going over the pond. All this, has made it a point. To me, when you start bringing, I was going to do my charity thing, and you're either doing it or you don't. You're either in it, you don't care about what a guy says about you in the past or is reported. It can deter people. So my point to Snell is what was the reason of bringing this up other than to get your name out there or other than people know about Phil's gambling? It's just
it was dirty
I see
business
both
back then,
ways,
man.
but it's also more of a cop out.
It's a dirty business back then because it was not legalized gambling, but people gamble. We all had bookies. We all know bookies. That's just the way life was back then. Now you've got legalized gambling. There might be people that use it. There might be people that's still going to call Joe down the corner at the weenie joint.
The
and still
difference
put his
now
bets in.
is with the way that it's legalized is that you will not get snuffed. Right, you go through the right channels, and your bets.
You're going to get paid.
Right,
And you'll pay your taxes on it too.
Whatever it is.
Eventually, right?
What's that?
I never thought of
Somebody
that.
will pay some taxes on
I
it.
don't win enough
What do you got,
to
Fish?
even worry about that.
So he's got this. He's got the British Open coming up. He also has the match coming up on July 6th.
And that's where
right.
I step in,
Yeah.
Fish, because
Good
you
call,
you
Fish.
talked about it. And is Snell promoting the Detroit News? Did they put it out for some clicks? Yeah, they probably did, because guess what kind of world we live in?
Clickbait.
But don't forget, Phil Mickelson has something to sell too. And as you said, why do you give it smoke? Well, there's the answer.
Yeah.
He's got something to sell too, because now when every writer writes about it, when every blogger blogs about it, whenever somebody talks about it on social media, they'll say, oh, by the way, don't forget, he's playing in the match with Tom Brady. And that's I think everybody's hey,
Holy
credit to you, Phil Mickelson. Credit to you, because you did it without doing it. You said it without saying it. You got it out there without getting it out there. And I love it.
I
I'm here
love
for
that.
it.
That and you know what? When you the fact you break it down like that. That's Phil being Phil.
Are you ready for
That's
this?
exactly Phil Dry.
Who's he
That's
going
Phil
against?
with the PGA Championship in his golf cart going, hey, I'm just here to remind you. Just to remind myself, oh, yeah, I did win at 50. Dude, he is so calculated at that. And hopefully in saying that, he gets what he needs and it doesn't affect, and we see him back, right? We see, so then if it's that way, then the smoke, do you see that he just came here because he knew this was going to promote this, and then it's a one and done?
I think it, to be honest with you, I think it was going to be a one and done anyway. And this is strictly my opinion. He has this coming up. It needs to be sold. It's weird how he's playing in every single tournament, playing in the Travelers, playing in the Rocket Mortgage, ahead of the British Open. A lot of these guys don't do that.
No.
And Phil in the past hasn't done that. But wow, it's really weird when there's something to sell, all of a sudden he's playing in every tournament.
How about
and I may be wrong.
DeChambeau canning his caddy? He's going against Mickelson in that tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another guy that puts his name out there.
Dude, TJ tried to,
I know.
I said I'd grab it. Look at it. Check it out.
There it is.
Yeah.
I said, I'll grab the bag. You work security, dude. And I said TJ's better with his beer in his hands. So, I'd feel safer.
You guys would be a tough tandem, man. You might be a good tandem
That's it.
to walk around with.
Yeah, but that's my only point about it is all of a sudden when there's an event to be sold, Now we hear about Phil Mickelson all the time, and when there's an opportunity for him to jump in the media, and look,
the money.
The answer is money.
Follow the money.
The answer is money. What's the question again? Like that's
follow the money.
Yeah, but that's it though. And look, fair play to Phil Mickelson, man. If that is the case, good for you, man, because we're all selling something. DMac, you're selling. I'm selling something.
Absolutely.
Maz, I mean, let's be real. Let's live in the real world here, because no matter who you
Maz
are,
lives in the past. But
he loves the Astrodome. You know, he loves it. I miss the Silverdome. I miss the Silverdome.
Love the Silverdome.
I ordered a Silverdome T-shirt that's going to be here next week.
I miss Joe Louis.
I miss Joe Louis too.
Who doesn't?
Except like when I'm sitting at LCA and like I have to go to the bathroom, then I don't miss Joe Louis.
No, I don't miss it when I get home and my shoes aren't sticky from all the beer.
right,
I miss the smell.
My studio was the bathroom, so I didn't have to go far.
Tiger Stadium had the fucking that was the bathroom, the trough.
The trough. Yeah. Well, but again, though, talking Phil Mickelson here on the Hook on Woodward Sports. Tony Paul will join us coming up in just a couple of minutes. But that's. And look, do I want Phil Mickelson here? Certainly I do, because it helps a Rocket Mortgage, because it helps Detroit, if it's going to be more charitable for people, if it's going to draw more dollars to the community. I'm all about that. But guys, and I see everybody getting enraged about how could the Detroit News do this and stuff like that. Remember, they're in the same line right here.
They're trying to sell papers.
They're trying to sell papers. Phil's trying to make you watch the match. I'm trying to make you watch Woodward Sports right now. So is DMac. I mean, this is what we're doing, guys. And the more honest we are about that, I think everybody can kind of get on with their day.
Absolutely.
We got Steven Carroll on later because we want to promote DCFC and tell you, hey, there's another sport in Detroit we want you to go and take a look at. You might fall in love with it.
Yeah.
That's why we do what we do.
Yeah, there is. There's no question about it. So I want this on my headstone when it's my time and I move on. I want, here lies Neal Ruhl, both things can be true. Both things can be true.
You know what? Isn't that funny? Because that's how we grew up. We grew up in, the right or wrong, but both things could be true. And now it's either one or the other, right?
And if you're against me, then that's it. I don't understand it. When we come back, we'll be joined by Tony Paul from the Detroit News. We'll break this down a little bit more. He's Tom Masway, Darren McCarty. My name's Neal Ruhl. It's The Hook right here on Woodward Sports.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We're recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand.
Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads. They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Welcome back to The Hook right here on Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Tom Masway, Darren McCarty with you. And right now, as promised, he's live at the Rocket Mortgage Classic. Covers golf, among other things, for the Detroit News. He is Tony Paul. Follow him on Twitter at TonyPaul1984. Tony, what's going on? Who's winning right now, man? Bring us live and local.
Live from the course, huh? Joaquin Neiman, one of the bigger, he's a pretty big name, young gun. He's winning, he's 10 under. The scores are a little bit higher today than they were yesterday and the past 2 years, really. The wind has really picked up, and it's giving the players some trouble. So, but still a lot of interesting stories out there. Ricky Fowler's 4 under through 8 today, making a little bit of a run. Phil's 1 under today, so he might be around on the weekend. Bryson DeChambeau's going home. He won't defend. But, a lot going on down here.
Matsuyama's going home, too, Tony.
Yeah, he's going home. Hideki Matsuyama tested positive for COVID. He had to withdraw. He actually withdrew right before his tee time. He was part of the Big Three featured pairing with Phil and Ricky, and he withdrew shortly before that, so they're playing as a twosome. So I'm sure they're thrilled with the pace of play, having to play as a twosome out there in a course full of threesomes. But, yeah, he's going home. The PGA Tour still tests regularly for all players who are not fully vaccinated, and we saw this with John Rahm a couple weeks ago, or a little bit over a month ago. The Memorial withdrew. He was leading. Hideki was 2 under yesterday. He has actually got it to 4 under late, but then made a double bogey coming down the stretch. But he was still in pretty decent position to play the weekend. He's played here all 3 years, but he's not going to be playing here anymore this year.
That brings us to our other big name, Phil Mickelson, obviously. The Rocket Mortgage, obviously, you want to get as many good golfers here with big names as possible. Ricky Fowler's there because, let's face it, he was on the Rocket commercials. Otherwise, maybe he wouldn't be there. But a guy like Phil Mickelson came here, and now he said he's probably not going to come back. And a guy that you work with is, I'm sorry. I had to slap myself. Robert Snell of the Detroit News, and he put out a column that was a 14-year-old column, and Phil didn't like it. Tell me your take on it, Tony.
Well, it wasn't a column, and it wasn't a 14-year-old story. It's never been reported. So the one thing I've heard from a lot of people is that this is old news. Old news would imply that we've heard about it before. We have not heard about this before because it was recently discovered transcripts in a case that an active court case that's been going on recently. So it's not old news. But, yeah, it ruffled some feathers with Phil. He didn't appreciate it and said yesterday that he's not going to come back. He thinks it was a divisive, that was his word, divisive piece. Other media outlets have called it a hit job. He didn't appreciate it, so he says he's not coming back. We'll see if he sticks to it. He's getting showered with love, as expected. He's a fan favorite out here on the tour. He has been great with the fans for many years, one of the best golfers of my generation, probably number 2. Yeah, it's been quite the buzz out here. He says he's not coming back. We'll see if he sticks to it.
Tony Paul joining us here on The Hook on Woodward Sports Network. Follow him on Twitter at TonyPaul1984. So, Tony, with this, I would imagine you've gotten some pretty, I guess you would say, vile backlash at times. Darren and I were just talking about our new social media generation and everything that goes on with it. Have you ever gotten such vile backlash for, A story that you didn't write, and B, something that is true? I mean, Phil, my understanding is that it's admitted that this happened.
I'll answer your second point. It is true. And his lawyer came out and said to us and in the follow-up articles on other news outlets that there was nothing in that article that was inaccurate. So I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, as far as, I didn't write the story. I think there's a lot of misconception that I did. I know that there's a lot of misconception that I did. That doesn't change the fact that I support our newspaper and I support the story that was written. It was factually accurate. It was of interest, and it was recently discovered transcripts. So I mean, the timeline of being more than 20 years ago when this happened. I can understand why that upsets some people that it would come out now, but sometimes things don't come out right away and they come out later, and that doesn't mean that they're not worth reporting on. So. As far as the backlash, I've written many pieces over the years that have not sat well with people. I've written stories about Michigan State athletic department that hasn't sat well with my alma mater and many of my fellow Michigan State alums. But as far as this, it's been pretty intense on social media and even in person with some anger toward me and my newspaper, and that's okay. Look, you're not going to win a battle of public opinion with Phil Mickelson, right? I mean, he's one of the most popular golfers of all time. He's the Arnold Palmer of our generation. And that's okay. That's all right. We can take it.
What I love about this, talking to Tony Paul, Detroit News, friend of the show, and obviously, is that you mentioned it's the truth about anything in today's age. We've talked about anything else, so hopefully this shows that eventually the truth will come out no matter what it is, and I don't have a problem with it. The timeline I'm more concerned on that Neal Ruhl brought up to me is the match. Does it seem to you, Tony, that this is more calculated by Phil on how he's played in all these events and he can get this information out because they are playing that big match with Tom Brady and the Aaron Rodgers and the rest of the pros, DeChambeau, next week? Do you think that the way Phil is, that this is sort of a calculated more on his part?
That's a good question. Be a good question for Phil. He's very good at creating interest in himself, and he's new to social media, and he's pretty good at it. He's been quite the tweeter this week at the Rocket, even tweeting during the rain delay yesterday, about this story. I don't know. I mean, look, it's created buzz, and it's interesting that the two most dramatic things that are being talked about here on the grounds right now are involving two guys that will play in that match. Bryson DeChambeau, of course, broke up with his caddy just before the opening round yesterday, and now is going home missing the cut. And Phil Mickelson, this story comes out, and he's getting the last and many words on it. And so it's definitely creating buzz and interest in what's going on down here. But as far as you'll have to ask Phil that. I don't know what his thinking is.
Man, that's really weird timing. That the whole Bryson DeChambeau wow, man.
Yeah, it's odd. It's odd. Pretty good buzz. Pretty good buzz.
Yeah. Follow the money.
Follow the money. Talking to Tony Paul here on the Hook, Woodward Sports Network. Happy to have you along wherever you may be watching and listening. So, Tony, I mean, just kind of breaking away from this a little bit here. Just as far as the Rocket Mortgage Classic is going, and you've been there right at ground zero this entire time. I mean, you've been covering it, in my opinion, like no one else because you don't leave the place. So
and he loves golf.
Yeah, and he loves golf. Yeah, absolutely. Good golfer to have on your side as well. But Tony, when you look at it from the perspective of the Rocket Mortgage Classic, I mean, the Phil Mickelson stuff aside, how are things running operationally, the weather, all that stuff? How's it going down there, I guess?
No, it's going well, and it's really remarkable how much work the grounds crew did down here to get this course playable. I don't know if you saw pictures from Saturday night after Friday's rain, but this place was underwater. They had to cancel a practice round on Sunday for the Shipping tournament, which preceded the Rocket Mortgage, but other than that, more rain came, and then yesterday was a delay, but the course is playable. They're playing less clean place. There's some casual water in the rough, but the fact that this place is even at all playable is just so impressive. So that's good. That's a great start. And look, if the galleries are back, they're bigger today than they were yesterday. They'll be bigger tomorrow than they were today. After not having them last year, that's a lot of buzz. Look, the Rocket Mortgage, people I'm sure would love that this this Phil Mickelson, sideshow didn't happen this week, and that everyone could focus on golf and the return of fans to Detroit. But the bottom line is, there's momentum for this tournament. It's going to be here longer than their 4-year extension, or 4-year contract, which runs through next year. It's going to be here a lot longer than that. They're building something here, and you talk to all the players, I guess all but one, and they really like it down here. They like the course, and they like going out to an old-style golf course like Detroit Golf Club with the trees and the bunkers and not overly long, and and treacherous greens, and everything's out there in front of you. So it's going well, and it's another fun year, and we'll be interested to see what's going to happen on the weekend. I'm sure it's going to be a shootout as it has been.
Tony Paul, Detroit News, joins us. Tony, I know you got to get running here. I got to get a baseball question in for you. Just about an hour ago, they mentioned that Trevor Bauer is going to go on a 7-day administrative leave. Have you been following that story? Sexual assault charges against him?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, MLB has benched him for 7 days now. Do you agree with that? How do you think this is going to shake out? I mean, the tweets are out there from both sides here.
Yeah, it's very it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. There's obviously some very, very serious allegations, and a very, very serious rebuttal from Trevor Bauer's camp the day that these allegations came out. I think last week or the week before. And but look, anytime you have allegations that are this serious, you have to investigate. And so, absolutely, I mean, MLB is certainly within their rights to put him on administrative leave while this goes on. This happens in all walks of life, not just sports. I mean, if a police officer is involved in the shooting, good or bad, right or wrong, it's an administrative leave situation while you investigate. So it's the same situation here. These are serious allegations, and MLB has to act.
Hey, Tigers, White Sox playing for first place here at Comerica. I'm only kidding. White Sox are in first. Tigers are in third, by the way. Soon, right? Yeah. Soon.
Tony, since we're talking baseball real quick and the White Sox are in town, this team had, I think it was like $28 million on the payroll 3 years ago. The White Sox, $28 million total on the payroll. Now they're probably going to win this division. Now they will be in the playoffs. They'll be a factor. The Yankees look like that ship is taking on water right now as it stands.
Oh, it's sunk.
Yeah, I mean, but for this White Sox, though, this White Sox team, though, Tony, they're the model, right? Like if you're a Tigers fan, they're the model of what you want to see.
Well, there's a model, but how long has the White Sox rebuild been? It's been a long rebuild. I know that they get a lot of publicity right now, and they're a very good ball club. And it's impressive how they're playing given all the injuries and issues they've had. I mean, it's a model, but I wouldn't want to take this long if I'm running a baseball team. I mean, they made the playoffs last year for the first time in how long? So, it's working out now, but, I think that a little bit quicker probably would have been appreciated on the South side. Just like it would be appreciated here in Detroit.
You're not kidding.
You're looking at 2014. You're 7 years removed from your last playoff appearance, and but again, like Matt said, they're in third place. They're starting to win some games, and they're not going to contend this year, but at least, as we've talked about before, you can squint really hard and see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
right.
Tony, as I said in Major Leagues, in the movie Major League, judging by the attendance, you haven't noticed, but it's on the horizon. There's no question about it. Tony, appreciate your time,
Thanks,
especially
Tony.
with everything going on.
Thanks, T.
Big time you. I know that's the kind of person you are, though. You'll step up and you'll talk about it. So again, appreciate the time, Tony. Thanks.
Always, guys. Take care.
Take it easy, man.
Tony Paul of the Detroit News. Follow him on Twitter at TonyPaul1984. And Tony's a big boy. He'll stand up and he'll give it to you from their perspective and what they want to do. So good on Tony. But that was a great discussion. That's all I want. Both people have things to sell, including Phil.
Yep.
I know he's the world's greatest golfer all of a sudden.
When you're there tomorrow, why don't you ask him?
I'm there as a fan. I'm no media credentials. I don't do that kind of stuff, Maz. I'm not one of these.
That's your job, Maz.
Yeah, I'm not one of these media people.
Leave the talent out of this.
Yeah, I'm not. If I'm not covering it, I'm gonna have an adult beverage in my hand, which is my right.
Teach your son that one.
Which is my right of being above 21 years old in the state of Michigan, and I will sit there and I will have my libation and I will watch the best golfers in the world.
You got it, man. Enjoy.
Absolutely. We'll take a break when we come back. I want to know who the NFL's Paul George is, because Paul George, the Clippers, they fell short again. And you won't have to look too far to find my NFL Paul George. If you listened to me last week here, you know where I'm going with this.
I listened to you for years.
Yeah, we'll get Maz's take, we'll get DMac's take, and you, the fans, as well. This is The Hook right here on Woodward Sports Network.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. With historically low interest rates and 5-star service, you could pay your mortgage off faster without increasing your monthly payment. Get started now at 248-308-5000 or chat with us online. Call hallfirst.com.
Morning, Art.
Morning, DMac.
Can you imagine if I could come in there and greet Art every morning with my Coast knife? That would be sick. Maybe we'll do that. Anyways, DMac here for Coast. I've been talking about it all along. Coast, which has been around since 1919. CoastPortland.com. WSN 20% off. We got knives. We got lamps. We got everything. Now, today's Friday, right? Giveaway Friday. Ding, 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 ding. Congratulations, Mr. Ed Klee. I could use a headlamp when I'm catching walleye at night.
Good job,
can't
Ed.
think of a better way to do it. Ed, send in your email. We'll get you out your gift certificate.
Good for Ed
But
Klee,
again, hashtag How We Coast. This Independence Day weekend, guys, you could be out there. If you need something, go to CoastPortland.com, WSN 20% off, or get your hashtag How We Coast. Maybe this weekend you're going up there coasting. Next Friday, I'll give you a gift certificate. Anyways, Coast, been since 1919, CoastPortland.com. Tell them DMac sent you.
Back at it here with The Hook on Woodward Sports Network. You know him, of course, Darren McCarty, 4-time Stanley Cup champion. Tom Mazaway, riding shotgun to my right. My name is Neal Ruhl, in for PIlar. I'm the television radio voice of the Oakland Golden Grizzlies, TV voice of Detroit City FC, fill-in guy for the Pistons, do national soccer for ESPN. You don't care, all that stuff.
I do.
DMac, I know you do. I know you do, man. I know.
Mark Champion said you deserve an NBA job. I heard it from Mark Champion.
Yeah, that's the dream right there,
Isn't
man.
that cool?
That's what we've been thinking about since we were little kids. So we will see how that all shakes out. But speaking of the NBA, Paul George and the LA Clippers, they bowed out as they lost to the Phoenix Suns. That's I don't know how much that resonates with people here in Detroit, but I know one thing that will resonate for a couple of seconds when we address this topic here. Who is the NFL's Paul George? The guy that's good, that's got the superstar contract, the guy that makes all the money, scores a ton of points, but just doesn't seem to get it done when it matters most. And Paul George, again, not going to the NBA Finals. And Maz, I've been hyped to do this, so I'm going first with this, if y'all don't matter.
You're driving, bro.
Yeah,
welcome.
And I'm going first with this because I want to look into this camera and let you guys know. My NFL version of Paul George is Matt Stafford.
Yeah,
where you hear about the talent, you hear about the stats, there's a 5,000-yard season, all that kind of stuff. But the bottom line is, and again, this isn't my opinion. So before everybody gets gets mad and stuff like that, because I know Stafford's loved more now that he's gone than when he was here. But with all that being said, this isn't my opinion. This is a fact that you can look up yourself. But with all that being said, never got it done here on the big stage. Never got it done in the biggest game. And DMac, you know that about this town, man.
Absolutely. No,
you got to get it done on the biggest stage. And I don't care what the scenarios are. One time you got to rise up and say, you know what? We're winning today.
Yeah,
when you're at Dallas, you got to say, and you got a 14-3 lead in the first quarter of a playoff game, you got to say, we are winning today. And he didn't do it.
Well, that's the alpha, right? We're looking for that. You see as the Suns closed out is that, we look to like Kevin Durant, who almost pulled it off, being Superman without Harden, without Kyrie. Well, he had Harden, but on one leg, right? Paul George just not being able to be that alpha with the team. Matt Stafford, because we're here, is legitimate number one. I'd say 1A with the money in the contract, Dak Prescott. That Cowboy
The clock is
team,
ticking on him, no doubt.
right? But and the money goes to that, and I look at that more that system and paying into him. They've put all their eggs in his basket, and it's sort of forced that way with the contract and stuff. But no doubt it's Matt Stafford, because now he's got the car, the bells, the whistles, everything that everybody said. Well, if you only had, he has it now. So good luck to him. That's why you expect, if he's that good, he will succeed.
He had it then, too. That 2014 Lions defense was one of the historically great defenses in the history of the NFL. One of the best rushing defenses ever, Maz.
Man, don't remind me.
I'm just telling you what.
Yeah, usually that's
hey.
Maz's job to bring this show down, Neal.
Well, I'm just telling you what is.
I've said it for a long time.
Is.
I said the day Ndamukong Suh left is the day the Lions ghost left with them. They were making that turn.
Much like the Tigers. When Max Scherzer walked out the door, that was the day the music died. Charles McLean on Facebook says his is Kirk Cousins. And Kirk Cousins is up there, too. And Maz and
but
DMac,
I don't ever think he'll ever get there.
I don't think so
saying?
Either. But it is money related. It's money related.
He wasn't drafted to be a savior either.
Right.
He wasn't a number one pick.
Jared Goff's
the number one pick.
Cousins is more of a Goff.
Yeah,
and even though Goff was a first overall and stuff like that, I have my expectations aren't as high as maybe a Dak and a Stafford. The expectations match now. Like you said, that's why it's Stafford, because everything we've said for 10 years.
You got now, brother.
You got now, and you don't have to. You just have to be really good, but you don't have to be Aaron Rodgers, right? You got the guys around you.
Yeah,
because I don't think he is that alpha.
It's interesting you bring up Dak Prescott too, because I think Baker Mayfield is trending that way. Now it's early.
But he's still got a few more years.
He's got time.
And they're on the come, man.
They are. But with all that being said, one day you're only up and coming in this business for so long. It's all of a sudden one morning you wake up, and I've noticed this in media, DMac. I'm sure you noticed this as a player. You're only young and up and coming for so long. Then one morning you wake up and you're on the downside. And that's just the way it works.
Yeah, sometimes you realize it, sometimes you don't. And I think today's day and age, it's more athletes are self-aware, with their health, what they do, so they know where they're at. I think it's obviously with technology, obviously with the media, obviously they know what they're up against and have to be pristine. So I think a lot of times, now it comes to a point where you see guys in every sport where they're done off the ledge a little quicker if they don't pan out for the duration, so but you know what you're up against, right? It's different. Things are different. Training's different. Everything else is different. So
I would say the high picks are the ones that you have to look at. You got to look at a Goff, a Stafford, a Cam Newton, guys that were picked to lead their team, to take them to the promised land. Cam got close. Matt Ryan got close. God, man, he got so close. Couldn't pull it off. Prescott, you said. Jared Allen, Allen from the Bills. Josh Allen from the Bills.
He's like Baker. He's got a few. He's got a little time, but
how about Carson Wentz now with the Colts? Here's a guy that took his team almost to the promised land. Gets hurt.
The injury buys him.
season.
Yeah, the injury buys him.
He gets a new start now.
Platitude, I guess you would say.
He gets a new start.
Well,
but those
you know
are
what
the guys
it is
that
there,
you look at.
Maz. It's more to see what the glaring was. It Doug Peterson or was it Carson Wentz? We'll find out, because if Frank Reich resurrects Carson Wentz and he comes out, and then we go, oh, okay, so it ended up being a relationship issue than a talent or an injury issue.
Yeah, it's something certainly, didn't want to spend a ton of time on it. It's just something that really, and you know me, Maz, anytime I get that opportunity, I'm going to take it, man,
You're
because
take
I
your
am.
shot,
I'm not taking
Not
a shot
taking
at
a shot.
Matt,
It's calling the truth.
Yeah,
It's all about the truth.
Do I love what he did for the community? Certainly. When I drive down to do Detroit City FC soccer matches, when I drive down, I see the Matt Stafford field that he built. Lots of credit to him for that. Certainly, he made a difference in the community. But they keep track of the score on the scoreboard, and the Lions didn't win a playoff game. So, I mean, that's not my opinion. That's fact.
I get it.
Truth's the truth.
This is what I've been saying from the get-go. Just like regular all the Lion fans have said it. If Stafford can get out of here and go to a competitive team, he's going to do well. So we're going to see what he can do now playing with the big boy toys. I go out to my man, the Sheik of the Spread, Adam. I know you're a huge Matt Stafford fan.
Oh, yeah.
Get on that mic and tell me about him.
I'm as big of a Matthew Stafford fan as you are a Tom Brady fan.
Now, listen, the question here was, who is your Paul George of the NFL? Paul George always finishing second or third, can't take it off the sheet. God bless him, man. He played without Kawhi Leonard, took his team to 6 games with a pretty good Suns team. Drew Brees won a Super Bowl.
A Super Bowl, yeah. It was a long time ago.
Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl.
Ben Roethlisberger comes to mind. Drew Brees, Ben Roethlisberger, consistently almost there and then just
But all those cats got all those guys have won playoff games.
Ben Roethlisberger won 2, and I believe in his first 3 seasons. And ever since then, he's literally thrown away multiple AFC Championship appearances with the Steelers.
Which you can do when you have house money.
You can't call out young guys. I mean, they're young.
Yeah, which we didn't really. We just said the clock is. I mean, you have to be mindful if you're those guys. I mean, you have to be mindful of it. Patrick Mahomes already has the money in the bank.
So who were your answers? Just so I understand the criteria.
Oh, Matt Stafford all the way. It was Matt Stafford all
the way. Well, he
the
was
way.
never finishing second. That's the thing. Is like he never delivered. Even when he had really good rosters, he never delivered. So
when he had a historically great defense, he didn't deliver.
Yeah, we're kind of trashing Paul George, we don't mean to.
Yeah.
We don't mean to. I mean, the guy is a
when
stud.
we're talking about a guy who like always gets there and like they're always in the conversation, where you know they're really good, but
it's not even necessarily that. It's just somebody you always hear about, and somebody who puts up the numbers, and somebody that is always an all-star, always a Pro Bowler, all those types of things.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins, you have your Matthew Staffords, you have Ben Roethlisberger. Granted, he won early on, but
yeah,
once you win, 14 seasons.
Once you win,
you're excluded from this
really.
group
So what? Even if you win, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Even Drew Brees, only one.
Yeah, he won. Yeah.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers, only one. Which I find
Aaron
the
Rodgers,
most.
back-to-back NFC championships, doesn't deliver. I mean, I'll take that then. Team guys who haven't won, we can exclude them. Kirk Cousins comes to mind. Matthew Stafford. You have even Jared Goff. Honestly, Jared Goff has to be in that conversation. Guys who put up the numbers. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, you can't. Well, Patrick Mahomes is one, but Josh Allen can't say anything of. It's been his 3rd year now.
Josh and Baker got a little timeline.
It's
Baker Mayfield has a lot to prove.
They got a little runway.
Baker Mayfield has a lot to prove. He has the coach of the year. If he doesn't get his shit together, then bye-bye.
I don't disagree with you in that respect at all. But
thanks, Adam, for your Stafford update. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it. All those guys never had a double-digit leads in playoff games and didn't win any of them. So, I'm just saying, Maz. Don't be mad at me. Be mad at the facts.
Maz hates facts.
He does.
No. He literally hates the truth.
Absolutely. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll get to DMac, his Stanley Cup C's and keys. We're going to talk hot dogs as well. 4th of July weekend.
I'm hungry.
You know what that means. You know what that means.
It's Joey Chestnut
time. I'm going to watch it. My wife hates it, but
I'm
going to watch it. We'll discuss all that and more coming up on the Hook on Woodward Sports Network.
Tony is a 3rd-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
Hey, gang, it's Maz for Legacy Partners Insurance. If you're shopping for insurance or you haven't even checked your insurance out, it's time to call the guys at Legacy. 586-209-4106. Shop a place that knows the local insurance people. They know how to take care of business because they're independent, and they're going to shop for the best deal for you. They got carriers all over the place. 7 to 10 of them, they'll shop for your personal. That means your home and your auto. And if you need business, they got 50 carriers for all commercial accounts. They also do life insurance and, of course, benefits and lots of other stuff, too. They've been doing it over 100 years, so you can trust them. It's a no-brainer. Give them a call, 586-209-4106, or better yet, check out the website. It's a personal website for you Woodward sports fans. LegacyPartnersINS.com/Woodward Sports. That takes you to a landing page. Fill out just a couple of seconds of information, and then let Team Maz do the rest for you. Legacy Partners Insurance, over 100 years of experience. You won't go wrong. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
Welcome back, everybody, to The Hook right here on the Woodward Sports Network, live from the MyBookie studios. You can call us at 313-552-6322 anytime you want. You want to jump in the conversation. Don't forget, we'll be joined by Steven Carroll, the captain of Detroit City FC. They're playing for a championship in NISA, the NISA Championship match down at Keyworth Stadium in Hamtramck tomorrow night at 7:30. Tickets are running out, so if you want to get in there, get involved. DeadCityFC.com. Stanley Cup Finals going on. You know we got to go to DMac, the C's and
I have to
Keys.
correct you.
Yeah.
Final.
Oh, that's right. It's the NBA Finals, the Stanley Cup Final, because, it's different.
It's Gary Bettman.
Yeah, because, it's different.
You know what I've noticed, by the way? This is something maybe I've only noticed. But on the ice this year, they do not have the Stanley Cup playoffs painted on the ice. It's always been in the offensive zone of each
right at the top of the blue line
there. It's not there the entire playoff.
Get Cup crazy.
Isn't that something?
Remember
instead,
that? Cup crazy?
Instead the TV now, TV puts their own little stuff up there once in a while, like Tigers do on the mound. You ever see when they put a promotion on the mound, or they put a promotion behind the plate? That's what they're doing now. But it used to be, I used to dig it. When it was the playoffs, it said the playoffs. NBA, same thing.
Yeah,
used to say playoffs. It don't say it anymore.
And now that it's in Montreal, it would be in French.
Exactly.
The Coupe de Stanley
Yep.
Cup.
That's right.
Yeah.
The Coupe de Stanley.
Good catch by
How
Alex.
do you know? There hasn't been one in the Coupe de Stanley. Oh, I guess in the playoffs.
Well, in the
but not
playoffs,
finals.
they do
You're
Stanley
right.
Cup playoffs.
Yeah.
But I digress to DMac's knowledge.
Yeah, we're going to do a little bit of a keys tonight. Obviously, Game 3 going back to Montreal. I think that the first thing is that you're going to have more people outside the rink than you will inside the rink, because the government of Canada and Quebec has not allowed more than 3,500 people in, which I think is a detriment to the home team. But again, it comes down, this will be a tight game. It'll be should be a game that I know, if you expect this series to go longer, that Montreal has to. It's a no-brainer. They have to win. But Tampa Bay, again, with the pedigree, it reminds me of 1998 in Washington. We knew that their best game would be in Game 3. It was fortunate we had a guy named Sergei Fedorov that put the game on his back, and we ended up winning that one. And then Game 4 wasn't as they were defeated. So tonight you're going to see the best effort from both teams. I think what I liked, and Adam and I were talking, because Adam's all on Montreal tonight. I don't know if I can go that way, because I see the Tampa Bay
worth.
That's his business, man. It's not yours.
I know.
While everybody else, you let him in on his business. That's pretty cool.
No,
Tammy Schultz-Chin on Facebook says the Habs will win tonight. So there is some backing of that sentiment. I'm with you,
this is
D-Mac.
the difference, right? As you've learned, and what this Tampa Bay team has learned, is if they were going to lose, they played a little bit sloppy last game.
And they got away
with
it.
The little guys, got involved. Vasilevsky won that game for them. He's not going to be the one that wins that game for them tonight if they win. I'm not saying Montreal doesn't have a chance, but this is do or die for them. So if you believe in the karma and the Montreal, but I just think that the skill, the experience oversees them. So
and by the way, the talent too.
Well, the talent, that's where it comes down to. And the one thing is that it's dangerous, because Montreal has been a little bit undisciplined in this series, and that power play will haunt you that Tampa has. So I expect it to be close. Won't surprise me if Montreal wins, but I expect Tampa to win.
What you got, Matt? Break it down real quick.
That's all I got.
I'm with DMac on this one. You know that I'm not calling for the shutout here tonight, but yeah, 3-2, 4-3. It'll be that Hornets nest type of environment. I know 3,500
feeling
people,
that Tampa's just they know how to open it up when they have to,
and they're better. I mean, it always comes back to that too, DMac. I mean, you never see a pony win the Kentucky Derby.
Maz, had a pony won at the Kentucky Derby?
Nope, they're all 3-year-olds. By the way, I'm rooting for Adam to win his money, but I think the Lightning sweep in 4. Not a gentleman's sweep, but a real sweep.
But the moral of the story is, I mean, Tampa's too good. They're too strong. Vasilevsky, I mean, DMac, you watch him. Where does he rank?
He's one of the best of all time. And, you look at this team.
He'll never get that credit either.
If they win 3 in 6 years like we did, yeah, he will.
You think so?
He will be. He'll get more credit than Ozzy does. He's just consistent, and he is at the top of his game like Hasek used to be,
right.
and as elite as anybody. I put him right up there. If he keeps stacking now, it'll be 3 cups. I mean, he's got to be in the argument top 10 all time.
I think he's got 3 shutouts on the last 3 closeout games.
Right,
that tells you how good he is.
He puts up donuts when everything's when all the chips are in the middle of the table. There's usually a 0 after the other team scores.
Right?
Yeah, I mean it's
that's incredible. He rises to the chat, like we said. Like last game, Montreal could have won easily. Tampa didn't play their best game. They had chances, but. No, so we'll see. It'll be a new series when we're talking on Tuesday. If obviously there'll be 2 games done, so it could be 2-2, or there
could be no series.
Yeah, Matt says it could be over. I don't know. I think it could be 2, but it could be. We could be talking.
If that place was packed, I'd be on the Canadiens. Yeah. Except they don't let their fans in. They're going to be outside.
Maybe they can hear them from the outside. Maybe they'll open the windows.
They might.
Well, maybe the problem for the Canadiens is that Vasilevsky will be letting the building, and so will Steven Stamkos.
Good point.
That's an unfortunate break for Montreal. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we got our $25,000 kick for crypto. We'll get you qualified for that on the social media as well. Good time to jump in that crypto market, so certainly you want to stick around for that. Maz will have an update. We'll be joined by Steven Carroll, Detroit City FC. Joey Chestnut, the hot dog eating contest. I can't wait to watch it. My wife is repulsed by it. We'll discuss that. All that and more. Final hour of The Hook right here on Woodward Sports Network.
Would you like to win a custom-built chopper while helping our veterans at the same time?
Then watch as we turn this bike into a one-of-a-kind classic chopper.
Watch the Call Sam Chopper Shop on our social media channels and get your raffle ticket today at callsam.com/chopper shop.
So what's up? My name is Sean Baligian. Glad to be a part of Baligian and Bell every day at 11. I'm the guy that gets pissed off at all the stupid sports fans out there.
What up, though? I'm Drake Bell here on the Baligian and Bell show here at Woodward Sports Network. Tap into the energetic Sean and the calm, smooth Drake Bell.
Welcome back to The Hook here on Woodward Sports. It's time to get somebody qualified for our $25,000 kick for a crypto from the Woodward Sports Network. If you get qualified, you can kick a football in the back of our truck, win $25,000 in crypto. It's a great dip time right now, as I've been talking about that when I've sat in this chair, so it's a good time to be jumping in. Here's how we'll do it. Let's do the Facebook this time. Everyone watching on Facebook right now, the first person to comment, how about Crypto Hook? How about that? The first comment I get that says Crypto Hook, you're qualified to win an opportunity to kick a football in the back of our truck for $25K in crypto. First person that says Crypto Hook on our Facebook stream.
And you qualify automatically. You'll get a choice of a knife or a headlamp, courtesy, of course, from our good friends.
Yeah, DMac right there.
Machete.
That's all real, folks.
Thank you to Coast.
There's no faking that. Maz, get us caught up with what's going on, my friend.
You got it, man. Brought to you by, as always, mybookie.ag. Use that promo code Woodward to get your first deposit halfway matched up to $1,000. Tigers and White Sox tonight. 3-game series starting at Comerica Park. Casey Mize, Lance Lynn. Beautiful night for baseball. Let's get 25, 30,000 in there. What do you say? Tigers start July after back-to-back winning months for the first time in forever. Back in 2014, I would think. MLB, by the way, placing Dodgers pitcher Trevor Bauer on 7-day administrative leave amid the sexual assault allegations. You guys read all about it. As Trevor Bauer says he's innocent. The girl says He's not. All-Star Game starters announced for the July 13th game at Coors Field. Let's show those AL and NL starters. Shohei Ohtani and Vlad Guerrero Jr., Fernando Tatis Jr. Those three guys, they lead the majors in home runs. It's their first All-Star game as starters. Congrats to them.
Jr., youngest player to ever lead in votes.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
And he is a stud, man.
I still get excited.
All three of those guys are studs.
Yeah.
I still get excited for the baseball All-Star
I love
game.
it.
I may be a dork.
I watch it. I'll
probably a
never
dork.
miss it.
Dude, you got the show dog. You got the Showtani in there this year.
I do. I like the MLB All-Star game. I'm
Home
sorry.
Run Derby coming up on the 12th.
Home Run Derby.
That's going to be epic.
They need to cut that down to 4 guys and get Chris. Yeah, never mind.
They did good last year. They changed the way and the timing of it. They had to do it a lot quicker. There wasn't a lot of breaks. They're improving it. They're doing the best they can right now. It would be nice.
You got to remember, it is
some
baseball.
of the big dogs.
It is baseball.
I know.
And look, you and I have had that conversation. Baseball is killing themselves right now.
They usually
We'll talk about
do.
the NHL a little bit later on in that ilk.
We will. We certainly will. Game 3 Stanley Cup final tonight. You know it. It's the Canadiens and Lightning. Tampa Bay leads it 2-0. The NBA last night. No Giannis, no problem for the Bucks. They beat the Rockets 123-112. They take a 3-2 lead into Atlanta tomorrow, trying to close out those pesky Hawks. Not sure if Trae Young will play. Giannis, we don't know yet. He's probably going to be doubtful with that bad knee. The Suns, meanwhile, waiting for the winner in the NBA Finals. They're just getting healthier by the day. And HBO handpicks the Dallas Cowboys for their Hard Knocks. The 20th anniversary coming up, of course, in August. Rocket Mortgage Classic leaderboard. For that, we go to Darren McCarty.
Hey, we're out here following Ricky Fowler around, as you can see. Yes, Joaquin Neiman still at the top with 10 under. Slew of guys, Kevin Kisner, Thompson, Troy Merritt, who got the shine off our boss, is playing wicked awesome at 9 under. Chris Kirkville still at 3. Ricky Fowler 4 under for the day. He's at 7 under. So there's a log jam, a little bit lower scores out here. They're about to tee off. I'm
Nice.
getting the wave. Back to you, Master.
You're the man. You're the man. Hideki Matsuyama had to back out for this one because of a positive COVID test. So he is gone. Bryson DeChambeau, the defending champ, is not going to make the cut either. This day in sports, look, I saw these on Twitter today, and I had to just play them. As a Lion fan, you guys are going to love this. Let me take you back to 1977. This is NFL Films, like the game of the week. They would go through all the games of the week. Harry Callis, the great Phillies announcer, would always voice them. This is the Lions and the Chargers from 1977. Look at these gorgeous uniforms, and check out Rick Kane.
Don't look now, but guess who's making a race of it in the NFC Central Division? The Detroit Lions bounced back from a humiliating shutout at the hands of Dallas 2 weeks ago to whitewash the San Diego Chargers 20-0. Rather than challenge the Chargers' tough pass defense, Detroit stayed almost exclusively
Look at Greg
on the ground,
Landry
passing
handing
only
that ball
7
off.
times while utilizing their new setback tandem of Marv Hubbard and rookie Rick Kane.
Marv,
number
old
32.
Mother Hubbard from the Raiders.
Yeah, I bet you were a big Marv Hubbard
I
guy,
was a
man.
huge Marv Hubbard
I bet you
fan.
were.
From San Jose State, gained over 100
Look at
yards
these
rushing
guys.
on the day and scored 2 short touchdowns.
Greg Landry handoff. Look at this dive.
With their victory, the Lions became the
Looks
first.
exciting, man.
Isn't that great? I just love those
I think I
deals.
prefer the spread offense, man.
You do? You do?
Yeah.
What's up, Fish?
Is this back in the day because the film was made on this day? Because they're not playing football in July.
No, it was just someone put it out, and I just had to play it.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't.
I just wanted to make sure you knew that.
Yeah, should have got a USFL highlight, man.
I could have.
I'm sure they did back in the
I
day
probably
on
could
this
have done.
day.
I probably could have done a USFL.
Got the Denver Gold out there anywhere?
No, Denver Gold.
I
was
just
great.
wanted you to know today is July 3rd and not January 3rd.
I know. I just felt like playing a Lions highlight. I got Barry Sanders highlights to it. Maybe I'll save that for later.
Look at the handoff.
I just felt like
That's
it.
the handoff.
Yeah, power
look
running
at
game.
Look at the handoff. Watch the dive.
Look at that athleticism. Aerial attack.
You guys never. Well, you're too young probably to watch those. I never missed those weekly review shows. Never.
Well, and you know what's funny, Maz, is following in those footsteps of that. I was thinking about this the other day. I was talking about it with my wife. My kids, who are 14, 12, and 6, they will never know what it's like to say, hey, if you want to watch this show, you want to watch Full House, Friday night at 8 o'clock, you got to be in front of the TV at Channel 7, or guess what? You don't get to watch it.
Correct.
They'll never know what that anticipation's
No.
like. They'll never
what-
know because
what
they sit
commercials?
down- Yeah.
What?
They sit down and they watch it when they're going to watch it on their schedule. You know what? Good for them, though.
I guess so.
Yeah, but you know what they don't have? Star Wars from 4, 5, 6 to 1, 2, 3. They had to watch it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They got messed up. That's why you lost them all. You throw them Jar Jar Binks early, they're gone.
I don't know what Darren McCarty just talked about there.
I'd agree with that statement.
Thank
DMac.
you.
Just so you know that I watched it 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3.
You did, even though, wow,
yeah,
you got.
my parents raised me right.
Yes, they did.
My daughter is a big.
Hey, young Mazaway, congratulations.
My daughter's a huge Marvel fan. She watched every video, every film, but she's now watching them in order again. So my little 14-year-old Maddie.
Poor thing.
In order.
She inherited that from her dad.
In order.
Well, it is 4th of July weekend, and that means you're going to have the meat on the grill, the dogs, the burgers, all that stuff, the coleslaw, the potato salad, the beverages in the cooler. And you know what else that means? It's Nathan's hot dog eating contest time. Fish is fired up. Fish, you're gonna lay the minus 5,000 on Joey Chestnut. You're better off putting your money in a CD.
100 gets you $2 if he wins.
You're literally better off putting your money in a CD for a month. You get a better rate of return with no risk of loss.
The only thing that grosses me out, not them shoving in their face, but dunking buns in the water. Oh, damn.
So you're grossed out too?
I'm grossed out by the water in the buns.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, I used to be a guy that could eat a lot. And with all that being said, I really do like the hot dog eating contest. But my wife thinks it's the most repulsive thing. She won't watch it. She gets up. She leaves the room. She says, how can you watch a man eat 75 hot dogs in 10 minutes? And you know what? I'm going to ask her, DMac, when I get home. I'm going to say, is it because they dunk the bun in the water? Because you know what that does? Now that you mention it, it's kind of gross, like the way it runs down their face.
Yeah.
Because they have to have the bun.
They got to eat the bun, right. You can't just eat the hot dog.
Let's get you a hype video from the old Coney Island and set you up for the big one this weekend.
That grosses me out, man.
Here we go. The Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
Nathan's hot dog eating contest. It is a 4th of July tradition. A 4th of July tradition happening tomorrow in Coney Island.
Of course they have a hype video for the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. Because in today's day and age, you got to have the hype video. With the bass drum, too.
Look at this.
Titles is what he's looking for. I am not given to hyperbole, Paul, but if this happens, it'll be the greatest achievement in the history of man. The gods have looked down on us. They have shined down on us, and they shine down on us still.
Look at him. There you go. Where's Kobayashi? He's over now.
Did he retire?
I don't see him anymore.
Wherever he is, he's got a lot of money. For me.
There he is.
So Joey Chestnut, as you said, Maz, minus 5,000 to win the thing. So certainly he's probably going to win. But with all that being said, 75 hot dogs and how many
buns.
can you eat, Maz?
That's the thing.
Maz, how many can
buns.
you
eat with bun?
Yeah.
2 or 3.
2 or 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. Back in my prime, I probably could have got 5 or 6. Now I'd probably 2 tops. 2 tops.
I liked you as chubby Neal Ruhl better, by the way.
Yeah, well, like we talked about last time, just quit eating sugar. And,
you look good,
and that's
man.
what happened. I appreciate
what up, Fishy?
that.
They have other competitions. Why is this the only one they show? They have like the wings, the shrimp,
the butter eating contest where they eat a pound of butter.
What?
He ate popcorn. There's a go to Joey Chestnut's Twitter.
He's got like 80 world records on eating.
He eats everything.
Asparagus.
Everything.
I mean, they do. Like they have a whole circuit. Like there's a professional tour. Like golf, they do the Rocket Mortgage butter eating contest. I think that's what kind of grosses my wife
Do
out.
they have the
mayonnaise.
paramedics on standby for that? For the butter eating contest?
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they
have to, right?
They could choke to death to begin
Mayonnaise
with.
eating, butter eating. I mean, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
So let me throw this out here just for fun. Michael Jordan, Serena Williams, Tiger, Tom Brady, Michael Phelps, all great athletes. But can any of them inhale 75 hot dogs in 10 minutes?
They couldn't do it together.
Hail,
Stay woke, yo.
Hail Joey Chestnut. Stay woke, yo. Wow. She's still here.
Let's get it done.
Stay
Joey
woke,
Chestnut.
yo.
let's get it done. Represent America, Joey Chestnut.
13-time champion, Joey Chestnut.
We celebrate greatness. We'll take a break. When we come back, the NHL is getting a little bit hip, and also the NIL, the name, image, and likeness for the NCAA, that's made some news as well. I got a question for DMac about his junior hockey days. I wonder what his take would be on this.
$35 a week. Stone cold cash.
Don't forget, coming up 4:25, Steven Carroll, the captain of Detroit City FC. They're playing for the NISA Championship down in Hamtramck on Saturday night at 7:30. All that and more. We're coming down the stretch. It's The Hook right here on Woodward Sports Network.
Welcome to the newest Bridge Street Exchange, not only in downtown Fenton, now in the Somerset Collection. Located on the second level, south side, right next to Lululemon and Starbucks. This is where you can get all the hottest barware, or men's grooming products, or clothing, or, oh, that's what you meant. Don't forget they got some cool hats too, and it's a lot of great local Michigan-owned companies that you're supporting. And don't forget, all under $3. You're such a loser. But for real, take advantage. 15% off if you come in here. Tell Kevin that Woodward Sports sent you. Or stop.
Happy 4th weekend from all the folks at Made in Detroit. This 8 Mile vodka, born in Detroit. The people behind it are my who. When I tell you, don't tell me what, tell me who. But the liquid inside that Mr. Ruhl would like, because we have to get a drinker in place of PIlar right there. But 8 Mile vodka, born in Detroit, distilled in 90-liter batches, aerated, carbon filtered to the finest award-winning vodka. Actually won the Sippers Award this year, I found out. That's the award it won. So if you want, stop anywhere in this great state at a Meijer store or any bar and ask for 8 Mile vodka, straight up, chilled, any way you like it. Maybe like Mr. Ruhl with a little club soda, but if you do, drink responsibly.
As long as you throw some limes on there too, DMac.
Limes
Yeah,
in
need
there,
a couple of
limes.
limes
He
on
likes
there.
his
Not
limes.
lemons. Not
Love
lemon.
the fruit.
Limes.
Garnishes. Garnish it up.
Just a little bit of
Garnishes charcuterie. Wow, look at that view.
Neal Ruhl in for PIlar here, hosting
Where's that one coming from?
The
That's
Hook
a
right
good
here
one.
on Woodward Sports Network. We are live from the MyBookie Studios, 313-552-6322. Get involved on social media as well, taking your comments on Facebook. Any way you want to get involved, get involved. Let us know what your thoughts are. Of course, he is Darren McCarty. Tom Mazway, handling the updates and keeping the train on the tracks here for The Hook. But I talked about my kids and their viewing habits earlier, about how they watch what they want when they want. And that's the way that this has really become an on-demand, consumer-based society. I don't want to get all economics on everybody here, but that really is the way things are trending. And the youth, DMac, you and I have talked about this before, the youth really are taking over right now. And we're seeing this with the NHL. And I don't know that a lot of people saw this. Josh Richards, who is a social media influencer, I guess that's his main job, a YouTuber, which my kids want to be when they get older. All the kids want to.
TikToker, YouTuber,
yeah, it's the new
Instagrammer.
baseball player.
It
is. It's the new baseball player. There's no question about it. But Josh Richards, who has a couple million followers on social media, the NHL hired him. He's from Toronto, as a good friend of mine likes to say. And they hired him. And so essentially, he's going to be taking up a new role with the NHL, kind of a fan engagement / fan informative type role for the NHL. They're going to seek his counsel on how to reach the younger audience. And Maz, I made fun of it earlier because I'm joking, one, but number two, jokes are funny because they're true. The NHL right now is doing something that Major League Baseball, I don't think would ever do. I don't think will ever do. I don't think it has the knowledge or the desire to do. But it's something I think they should do because, Maz, and I know the older generation of fans, they don't understand what's going on with this. I'm guessing that.
That is correct.
You guys deal with the
Of course.
you guys deal with the audience and all that kind of
I
stuff.
got 3 young daughters, so I try to stay right with it.
As hip as you can.
As hip
right?
as I possibly can.
As hip as you can.
Yeah.
But Maz, this is the beginning of this. And with the name, image, and likeness now coming out with the NCAA athletes, now that they're able to take advantage, this is only the tip of the iceberg with this. Sports are about to get a lot younger, Maz.
There's no doubt about it. And the NHL, I think, has made a great move. This is a sport that I love, but it's a niche sport. It's because some people don't like it because they can't follow the puck on TV. It loses some of its luster that way. And it's always been a sport that wasn't highly rated on television. Do we love it here in Detroit? Of course. Do we love it on the East Coast where I grew up? We do. Places like Minnesota, it's huge. Gretzky took it out to California. It became huge. But now you've got this 19-year-old kid from Toronto, Josh Richards. 2 million followers this guy's got. And Gary Bettman stepped out and signed this kid. Gary Bettman's people told him, look, this is where we got to go. And he took their advice. Mac, you can't argue with this. I
No,
know you can't.
absolutely
We
not.
talked about it yesterday with this kid from LSU. Her name is Olivia Dunn. She's got 5 million followers. These kids, and she's an LSU gymnast. She's still in college. The most followed college athlete in the world is Olivia Dunn.
Well, back to the NHL, right? It shows you that they have a finger on the pulse a little bit. And, you know, you look at the move and the deal they signed with ESPN and TNT, and it's about getting younger and it's about exposure. And that it only makes sense because the fact that as much as going to criticize Gary Bettman for parody, but along the lines is that he knows the temperature and he knows, like you said, and it's about facilitating the option. Doesn't matter what it is, right? It's that you have the option to choose what you want. And if you have questions, right, this is about, well, what is this? What do you mean by that? And why wouldn't younger kids, like your kids, my kids, somebody else's kids, they look at things differently. Like you said, Neil, there's no appointment television. Like we had appointment television. My favorite was Super Friends, 7:30 ABC Saturday morning.
Loved that.
You missed it, right? The only way you get out of bed. You couldn't get up for school. But anyways, like that. So it's facilitating the option, getting with the times, getting more onto the social medias and stuff like that, and just bringing people along to the excitement. Now, I don't care what it is that we're talking about hockey, but obviously name, image, likeness. We're seeing this around from different athletes, but different students, right? Not just the athletes, but the students. And I like where it's going because it's all part of the truth and it's all part of the facilitation of going on. Nobody's capitalizing. And when the big leagues gets on, to your point, Neil, about baseball isn't going to initiate, but they might have to come around to it when everybody else is.
But by then it's too late, though, Darren. When you're the last to the party, man.
I get it.
All the drinks are gone, brother.
Well, you think that, but no, Major League. I'm saying, common sense wise, but I see. You got the NFL that does it the way that they want. They're the Death Star, the Empire, whether they're going to go. The basketball already does it with their players and stuff like this. This is all part of anything else. But we're talking about the curmudgeon league and the old, in baseball. They'll eventually get there. They'll get there late when they don't see it because things have changed. It's not the way it used to be, right? So I commend. I'm critical of Gary Bettman all the time for changing the game and whatever, but this is a great move.
Guess what, Major League Baseball, what department you think they cut during COVID?
Social media, I bet.
You did. Every team had to get rid of their social media team. The Tigers had a phenomenal social media team. They were great. They were on top of it. They had to get rid of everybody because of all the cutbacks. And now, of course, someone else is doing it with the Tigers. They're doing a nice job, but it's someone took on that job in addition to what they were doing.
Which is crazy to me because, younger people understand this. I know this. I think a lot of older people even understand it too. The social media part is the most important part of it because how do you reach the most amount of people? How do you reach the most?
That's it.
It ain't the 9,800 people at the Tigers game.
No.
It's not. When they have that photo that they took, you probably saw it with the lightning bolt above,
it was beautiful.
Comerica Park in Ford Field.
I saved it.
Yeah, see, there you go. You saved it, Maz. I mean, that's how much that moved you to do it. That reached people. That reached way more people than were in the stadium that night. I can't understand that. If you're a business owner, if you understand the way business works, how do you maximize things? By reaching the most amount of people possible.
Neil, it's the same thing
it's free.
With the crypto. It's the same thing with the way that it's changing. And some people, some businesses, some organizations refuse to change because that's not how they did it until they're forced to change. Like the big thing is that everything's moving a lot quicker and everything else, that it's a younger person's world. Why? Because they grew up with computers, phones in their hands and stuff like that. Us three here know what it's like to have to go play outside and not have a phone and go by a street light and stuff like that. But so the thing is it like we got to get involved in the quicker the leagues, if we're talking about sports leagues or companies or whatever, realize what you said is the truth, the quicker that everybody can move on. And people will get left in the dark. The thing with Major League Baseball is they drag around this big, huge anchor that it'll still come because it's old as dirt and because it's the traditionalist game.
And it's the pastime.
Right, but again,
it's about
is
to be the
baseball
past time.
Has baseball not depleted, like gone? You know what I mean? Over the
it's
COVID,
red arrow,
right?
It's red arrow. There's no question about it,
right? So either they're going to have to, as a Major League Baseball, look at other leagues and say we got to get on board. So
you would think so, but it remains to be seen. And I'm telling you guys this, and. If I come back here in the future, and we're hosting a show, I do want to dig a little deeper into this name, image, and likeness. Real quickly, Darren, before we go to the break, Steven Carroll from Detroit City FC will join us in just a couple of moments. So you're a young DMac getting ready to go to the NHL, or getting ready to go to the OHL. You're 50-goal scorer. You score tons of goals. You're the guy, man. Instead of your $35 a week, is that what it was in the OHL?
Yeah, it was 70 every 2 weeks.
For 50 goals a year, huh?
Was that cash?
And yeah, room and board.
Yeah, room and board.
No, you got to check.
Check for $70. All right. But anyway, though, DMac, if we fast forwarded Darren McCarty then to Darren McCarty now, would that might affect your decision to where you could go play hockey at the University of Wisconsin or Minnesota or Alaska Anchorage or Michigan State, and you could make more money doing that? Would that change it? Or was that too far ingrained? Being from Canada, was that too far ingrained?
Well, I think it was more in to get to the next. Like for me personally, the style, right?
Sure.
So my style.
OHL is a great league.
OHL, right? Because it's more of the NHL style.
Right.
So I had to go that way. But absolutely, as far as an incentive, depending on a top player, I would use it as what if you're like a Hughes kid, or if you're like just because we know that they're all good, and going to university or stuff like. But you can use it. But it's also too, just to the conversation I just said about technology's changed things, social media's changed things. So we got to get on board. And the fact that the NCAA got forced into this because the Supreme Court realized that this is the way it is. They're like baseball. Right? They're like, no, it's our way. And unfortunately, it's not. So now whoever gets on board quicker with, like you said, the young athletes. I like the fact because the athletes that I don't know, you're going to know. Whether they're the gymnast, whether they're the rower, or like somebody in an individual sport that has followers, maybe Olympic sport or something. It gives, if you're out there, I like it because it gives, a wider audience an opportunity. But yeah, how could it not make it for a kid that plays, whether it's hockey, football, baseball, whatever? Hey, if they have a program in place that allows you to make some extra money, you got to listen. Yes, it would change my objective.
There you go. And speaking of somebody who has a program in place, when we come back, we'll be joined by Steven Carroll of Detroit City FC. They will play for the NISA Championship tomorrow night at 7:30 in Hamtramck down at Keyworth Stadium. Limited tickets are available, so if you want to get out there for what I will say will be one of the better parties of the summer, make sure you do that. It is hype down there, which we'll talk about. I know DMac has ruffled some feathers with the DCFC fans. I'm here to mend all the fences and get everybody on board and really celebrate what Detroit City FC has done. Steven Carroll will join us coming up in just a couple of moments. You're watching The Hook right here on Woodward Sports Network.
We are here, downtown Fenton, my favorite Bridge Street Exchange.
That's right. And you want to switch up your wardrobe this summer? It's this easy. Ready, Joey?
I'm ready.
All right, you ready? I like it. You want to do it again?
Yeah, let's do it again.
All right. Ooh, Brixton. Nice. One more time?
Yes.
Ooh, I like the hat on this one, too. You ready to do it one more time, Joey?
I'm getting tired. One last one.
All right, let's change it. Bro, where's your shirt? You need new clothes this summer. Bridge Street Exchange in Fenton. That's where you need to go. Thank you, guys.
Since Corey's been wearing this LeBron James jersey around the network, it's been falling down a lot.
And really, that's it. Dan Campbell is going to be the man for the Lions. Don't you agree, Corey? I didn't even touch you.
Welcome back to The Hook. Darren McCarty, Tom Mazaway. My name is Neal Ruhl, filling in for PIlar. We are live at the MyBookie studios. And as I said earlier, the television and radio voice of the Oakland Golden Grizzlies, also the TV voice for Detroit City FC. We're going to talk that right now as we're joined by the man for DCFC. He is Steven Carroll. Steven, appreciate you taking some time. You guys getting ready to play for the championship against the LA Force tomorrow. And Steven, you know it better than everyone else. It's going to be hyped down there tomorrow. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, man. How are you? It's going to be a great night tomorrow night.
Yeah, absolutely. The atmosphere will be second to none. People are talking about the largest party maybe in the city all summer long. Steven, talk about that, the Northern Guard and what they bring to the party, the smoke bombs that are going off. I mean, this is, and look, you're from Europe originally. This is European soccer in America.
Yeah, it is. And to be honest, it's the only kind of European soccer I've seen in America for as long as I've been here. They just bring a lot of energy the entire game, no matter what, rain or shine or snow. They just bring the energy, which is cool, to experience. And everyone that doesn't get to play against us, or even the guys on the team, they just all love it because it's just a good time. It's something that it's a rare occasion in US soccer in general. So to get it on our level is great.
Steven, when you look at the season that you guys had this year, going undefeated, it was really tough to score on you guys. There was, almost a 1,000-minute stretch where you guys didn't concede a goal during the run of play, as we talked to Steven Carroll of Detroit City FC. Why does it always work, Steve? I mean, I know the answer to this. A lot of it has to do with you in the back line and everything that you guys are doing. Why does it always work for you guys? Why do you guys win all the time?
I mean, it's tough to answer why we win all the time, but our team is just a team of great guys, and they know how to play every part of the game. Defense and attacking. So, just the fact that everyone knows the position, their role, what they're supposed to do is, it helps keep clean sheets and win games. So, just the fact that everyone knows what they're doing, helps a lot.
No doubt. Thanks for joining us, Steven. And to clarify to Neal, I don't have a problem. The problem is that I listen to the fact, and I addressed Mr. Gus Macro out there because, yes, we do love DCFC. We do consider them the fifth one, right? I hate it when people accuse me or to have the show, but the one thing, obviously, and obviously your captain is from Ireland, from Cork. I mean, so Maz won't understand that. I understand that. But talk about the one thing is because I had the honor of playing downtown in front of the fans at Joe Louis Arena and stuff like that. And I think, like you said, more too in Hamtramck. But the fact, what can the fans and what do they bring? And as you're on the field, like you said, how does it inspire you guys? And how does it playing there, because you've played all over, right, and stuff like this, but going into a championship match tomorrow, how imperative can this crowd be, and what do you guys expect, I guess, your game plan going into the game and how you're going to win?
I mean, yeah, obviously the crowd plays a huge deal in our game plan. It's, like I always say, they hold us accountable, especially when we play at home. I know they travel with us across the country as much as they can, but the home games are something special that they hold you to a higher standard, and you can't leave them down. So that kind of mentality that people are watching, the people love you, they spend their Saturdays with us, Tuesday nights with us, whenever they have time to come with us, that you can't leave them down. So it definitely gets you pumped on our side of the thing, and then on the opposition side, it gets in their head that these guys, there's 7,000 fans here that want to kill me basically and not want me to have a good game. So it gets in their head as well, that they're under the pressure because they've been watched, and by probably the most they've ever been watched by. So it's a twofold thing for the fans.
I love it. Steven Carroll joins us, DCFC captain. They're going to be playing the LA Force coming up. Is it tomorrow night, 7:30?
7:30.
7:30 at Keyworth Stadium down in Hamtramck. What they've done with that stadium, they brought it back to life, and they brought life down to Hamtramck and that part of Detroit, Steven. And you're playing this team that you beat already 3-0. How do you face a team that you've already beaten? Now do you play them in a championship game?
Yeah, it's obviously tough when you played a team and you had a pretty good game against them, and beating them 3-0. They have something to prove now that they got to come out and show that was a one-off kind of deal. But Detroit won everything possible this year, which is kind of frustrating. Where the fact that we win everything possible, but we still got to win one more, and they can just jump in the last game because they're the next seeded team to try to take all the marbles, as they say. So it's kind of frustrating that way. So it kind of pumps us up that we're not leaving this happen to us. But it's a cup game, it's a one-off game. Anything can happen in that kind of situation.
Steven Carroll joining us here on The Hook on Woodward Sports. Happy to have him with us. They're playing the LA Force tomorrow, 7:30 at historic Keyworth Stadium, deadcityfc.com for tickets. So, Steven, your coach, Trevor James, was a scout for Barcelona, a scout for the English national team, longtime assistant in the MLS, was an assistant under Bruce Arena for the LA Galaxy when David Beckham was there. I mean, to me, when you look at Trevor James, and I've seen him implement his system in the way he plays and the formations and everything that they do, you guys play so well defensively, yet you're entertaining to watch, which is incredible because I haven't seen that often, where you guys will move forward, you'll jump up into the play at times. What has Trevor James brought to this franchise in that since the moment he stepped foot here, and I've said this for a very long time, he is the best coach in Detroit sports. I mean, he is. Check the resume. And I'll always go back to that. Check the resume. But with all that being said, what has he brought? Why does it work for him?
I really don't know. It's just maybe his personality. But as you said, his experience is outrageous. When he was first getting scouted or recruited to be the next Detroit DCFC coach, I saw his resume and I was like, there's no way this guy can be here. He knows everyone in history about soccer. It's his experience. I feel that he knows how to manage the game, manage players. He knows what he's looking at because he was a scout before. So he's easily he picks up players easy, and players looking at his resume want to play for him. So when you're playing in front of a guy that has that much experience and you're with him every day, and he's such a good person that you want to play, you want to do what he says, you're bought into his system. So I think it's just the experience that players need to perform every day for him, or he's so good at finding new players that you could be getting chopped.
Hey, I know you're getting ready for your championship game tomorrow, but I know you're watching soccer too. Who's going to win Euro 2020?
I was just watching the Italy game there. Yeah. They're looking dangerous. So I didn't think they would go all the way, but looking at the results now, I think Italy probably will take it home.
I got England. I picked England. I'm sticking with that Wembley crowd.
That's a brave one. I'm pretty sure they're cursed.
My question is, who is your favorite player growing up? Was there a guy that you emulated your style after? Us hockey players, there's mine was Rick Tocchet, and because he could fight, score, and was the leader and stuff.
Mine was Howard Cosell.
Yeah, yours was Howard Cosell. He'd be so disappointed in you right now, Tom.
Mine was Sergei Fedorov.
Yours was Sergei Fedorov. Neal, he'd be very proud of you. How about you, sir?
I actually, when I was a young kid, I was David Beckham because I'm a Man United fan, and it was David Beckham. Yeah. He had all the swag, the stuff. He had all the technique and
Spice. Yeah, we get it.
He just looked like a guy who could play ball. But as a defender now and growing up, that that was never going to be my style. So I adopted more of a Roy Keane kind of.
Yeah, I love Roy Keane.
Yeah. So as much as I wanted to be the flashy, winger, whatever, it was never in the cards for me. So I had to, look elsewhere for inspiration.
Yeah. Well, Roy Keane, a hell of a leader for Ireland stuff. So you right in the back, being the defender, causing the trouble. I think you've done him proud, bro. But thanks for joining us, man.
Hey, beat LA, man. Beat LA.
We like championships in this city, bro. Bring it home.
I'll try. We'll try.
That's all.
All right, Steven Carroll, everybody, for Detroit City FC. Remember, they square off against the LA Force tomorrow, 7:30, historic Keyworth Stadium. As Maz talked about the backstory with the stadium, they brought that Keyworth Stadium back to life, and
I love that.
They crowdfunded it. The DCFC fans, among some of the other charitable endeavors that they do, they funded that. and
That's
they
awesome.
they paid for
That's
it and
why
everything
it feels
like that.
So us a part of, like, we're all in this together. The
And
fans,
they lease
everybody.
it.
It's a
They lease it from
community.
Hamtramck, and they'll
Yeah.
give it back to them when they're done.
I got
And
friends
it's
that
refurbished.
are part of the whole crazies, the La Rouge and
Northern Guard.
The Northern Guard.
Pound for pound, the best sports fans, and they are there. It rain, shine, win, lose.
I wish
they're there.
I wish the dream would come true. Knock down that jail that no one uses downtown and build that soccer stadium that they wanted to build. Let it happen in downtown Detroit. Let's get a soccer stadium. Doesn't have to be huge. Let's get a team here in Detroit. Let's take the next step. I'm all for it.
Yeah, but pound for pound, they are the best sports fans in Detroit. I've said it on television. I'll always say it because it's true. As DMac, that's the truth.
I think the telling sign is what Steven says, is that nowhere across this country do you have that European soccer field, the smoke bomb, all this, the guys, and that's what it gets, is that you come in there and that's the intimidation is you're playing in front of fans. If you're a other team and you feel like they want to kill you, that could throw you off.
The
and
flip
that's
side of that
home.
coin is, though, you get it is their Super Bowl, it is their
Yeah,
World Cup
absolutely.
every time they come. And they've taken all that. And they just keep winning.
What's the
NISA.
most impressive thing? Because you cover them.
Yeah.
So it's the consistency of the same way, same style.
I think it's like what I talked about with Steve. Like, from a soccer standpoint, and the guy, I know there's a lot of soccer fans here at Woodward Sports. I think what I like the most about it is they defend so well, but they attack also. It's never boring to watch. And look, with all apologies to the LA Force people, when I watch their matches,
boring.
I don't want to say it that way.
You're boring. You're going to get your ass kicked tomorrow night. Bring it, La Rouge.
There you go. Absolutely. We'll take a break, come back. We're coming down the stretch here. It's The Hook on Woodward Sports Network.
David Hall from Hall Financial. With historically low interest rates and 5-star service, you could pay your mortgage off faster without increasing your monthly payment. Get started now at 248-308-5000 or chat with us online. Call hallfirst.com.
Welcome to the ball at work. Hey, Drug Bill, Sean Baligian. See you guys next weekend.
Thanks, mate.
Oh, Bell's soft. Wait till it comes to New Zealand. Sort that out.
That's my favorite.
Welcome back to
full.
The Hook here
Here
on the
comes New
Woodward
Zealand.
Sports Network, live from the MyBookie Studios, 313-552-6322. That is a phone number. You're getting involved on social media too. Love it. Enjoy it. Like looking at all the comments. We read those as they come through. I want some truth, though. That's what I come here for. I want some truth. DMac, give me some truth.
Over here, Mr. Accountability, as I sign my book, My Last Fight, The True Story of a Hockey Rock Star. Enjoy my truth. So why not on this Friday, Independence Weekend, as we all go off to this long weekend, let me throw a little bit of the hook on the truth. Now, I'm going to start. First, we talked about Phil Mickelson. Neal Ruhl brought up a great point that I'm going to put into this. Everything's calculated, right? So just with you look at what has come out, the article, which is truth. We got some clarification from Tony Paul. It's not new material. It came out. So whatever it is, the truth will come out. So my thing to Phil is that if you're just here, as Neal said, to subtly, but not subtly, say what you're not trying to say and promote next week's match on TV that you're getting a cut of, I get it. Kudos to you. But don't use it as, oh, I wanted to be here. I was going to do my charity thing. No, you're either going to do it or you're not going to do it. We appreciate you being here. Know that you're loved here. I think that between the Metro Detroit golfers, everybody else showing Phil their love. So hopefully it plays out the way and we will see you back. But if not, then I don't like. The truth is, follow the money and the manipulation. But the real, Maz, the real, if you haven't heard this yet, the young lady, Sha'Carri Richardson, the sprinter, the 100-meter
This was right
champion.
up your alley.
Absolutely. If you saw her win in a... Dude, you
Look at
want
her.
to talk about stretch runner? She came in the stretch, blew everybody away, ran up into the crowd, hugged her grandmother. Well, she lost her mother a month ago, and she used marijuana, cannabis, legal in... whatever, all the states, CBD, this, because her mother died and she didn't, and she wanted to cope with it. This is utterly freaking ridiculous. Whether the CBD is allowed, whether it's THC, it's not a performance enhancer. I couldn't be more upset for this young lady with the way that we are in this country. It's even more implorable for the top dogs to change the rules. So get the money straight with what you're gonna freaking get so people can move on with their lives, deal with their own choices, because we know the truth. So what a bunch of dog shit. That's just utterly wrong. Now, I did hear that if they do qualify for the relay, she might be able to be in the relay. But come on now, it's 2021. Right? All this stuff is, we know the truth. We know where it's going. We know where it helps people. You know what? Wouldn't you rather go into smoke some weed or use some cannabis instead of getting into the opioids or add something even worse? So go fuck yourself, everybody. That's my truth to come to her. And again, Mr. Gus, just wanted you to know, I hope you enjoyed your DCFC weekend, and good luck to your LaRouche.
My guy,
Don't
Gus
ever put Darren McCarty in the same category as everybody else, because I do care.
There
We
you
all
go.
do.
Absolutely, yeah. And Maz came to me and was like, "Hey, man, let's get Detroit City FC some love."
Steven Carroll just wrote me. He said he had a great time. Thank you again
No,
for having me on.
great. Listen, I don't give it. I'm about this city, and it's all about this and that, and this is such a great story for it, and it's about facilitating options, no matter what it is, and people that. Because here's the thing, whether you're a soccer fan or not, but you want that experience to be a part of something. There it is. Get down there and cheer on your team.
Yep, the most
Another way
organic
to
story,
cheer.
most organic story in sports. man.
Most organic and Northern Guard. Let's go.
And there you have it. Truth from Darren McCarty. Now it's time for the Me Gusta, No Me Gusta. Maz, you know, translated. I like it, I don't like it.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Deal or no deal.
Deal or no deal, absolutely. Me gusta, no me gusta. BYU says, hey, student athletes, hold your horses. We talked earlier about the name, image, and likeness. Student athletes, they're free now. They're free to negotiate their deals, who they want to endorse, all that kind of stuff. But BYU is saying, hold on, everybody. Hold on. They are saying that they will prohibit their student athletes from promoting alcohol, tobacco, gambling, adult entertainment, and coffee?
Coffee. They don't allow coffee. The Mormons do not allow coffee.
But
I don't know why. They let you have
religion?
Coca-Cola. They let you have 7-Up. They let you have Mountain Dew, but no coffee.
Wait, but isn't BYU, like, Mormon's a religion, right?
Yeah.
So don't you grow up that way so you don't expect it? It would just deter a non-Mormon to go to BYU. Right? Is that, or do more, like, because I'm understanding BYU, that's the Mormon school, so it's the principles, so are you not already under those principles? So it shouldn't be such a shock to somebody going there, as opposed to somebody who's not Mormon, that I'm going to knock BYU off my list?
I don't know if everybody that goes there is
no,
Mormon.
but that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. If you were, right, so there's a deterrent. There's a friggin' deterrent.
Right, well,
Not that I'm saying it's bad, but what I'm saying is the people, like a lot of the more, like the people that go there, like Zach Wilson, who just came from there to the Jazz, like he grew up Mormon. So, all that stuff, I would say, is in the Mormon religion of what you can't have, right?
Jim McMahon, I don't think, was Mormon.
But what I'm saying is there's your deterrent. So there's your me gusta. Do I agree? You're a university. Make your rules. No me gusta, I'm transferring out of there or whatever like that, because I'm getting all itty titty bitties fucking dance, go down to Goo Goo Dolls. They're going to give me some, they're going
to sponsor you.
They got every sponsorship that I'm going to have.
They're going to sponsor
I can't go there.
you
You just nailed every sponsor that I wanted. Come on. Tobacco, chew. Oh, I don't need the alcohol. Somebody else can have. Well, even though it's about the who, not about what's in it. So I guess I could. The gambling, yeah.
No, you're not giving that up.
Coffee mask?
Not for you.
Number one.
Yes, not for you.
One.
For me, I don't care.
Well, yeah, they're going to promote their student athletes from promoting it, but it's also going to
deter.
It's going to prohibit BYU from winning games too, because if you're taking stuff off the table, man, you're hurt. You're hurt, and you're not helping. Let's be real.
So what?
Business is about to get real out here. I mean, I don't think people know. Just judging by the way they're talking about it, I don't think people understand.
It's the transparency. God bless the millennials, because it's about the truth, and it's like taking the big friggin' nuclear bomb and wiping the world and going, here it is, whatever, any level, right? It's all coming out. The truth's all coming out. The people are getting paid. You can't hide behind things. Even we're talking about Phil, new information from a report for it. So the best part is that I always say, sit back. The truth will come out. The right hopefully will set the wrongs. And yeah, like you said, people don't see it coming, but it's coming.
They don't.
It's coming fast.
Yeah, exactly. And you have a lot of older established media out there that I don't think fully grasp. they don't like it, I'm sure, but B, they don't fully grasp what this is going to be.
Nobody likes change. Let's face that.
This is going to be free agency meets endorsements, meets all of it.
I can't wait to see how it shakes out, because you see all these kids come out. Reggie Bush wants his Heisman Trophy back. The Fab Five want those banners back up at Chrysler. I mean, you can go on and on and on. I mean, Pete Carroll's probably running around like with bare feet right now, because he's off the hook finally.
I said all these years. He got the national championship.
He did, but he had to run away from there when it came down.
I said this yesterday, Neal. Right? I expect what you'll see because of this is they'll start handing back the banners and the trophies, because the question is, well, where's our money? Where's our, in the reverse, almost like deferred pay. But I'm saying is that argument right to come. So you're going to see, banners going back up. I think that's
in my style, DMac, if you're a university, if you're Michigan, do you think a 91 Final Four T-shirt would sell?
Woohoo!
Oh, yeah, it would. I'm just saying that knife cuts both ways.
It's going to sell a hell of a lot more than a 2021 football jersey.
Absolutely. That knife cuts both ways. Now, don't get that twisted. Universities, they'll spin it this for them, too. Don't
I
get
understand,
it twisted.
but now when they spin it, they got to pay.
They got to pay.
You know what else is going to spend? You know what else is going to cash? Washington football team. Daniel Snyder and his wife, once they change that logo and put that new team name out, how much of that stuff are they going to sell?
Yeah, they'll move it. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. We'll take our final break. When we come back, we'll wrap it up. 4th of July weekend. Get lit, everybody. Get hyped, man. You can feel it in the air. Big sports weekend here in Detroit. Rocket Mortgage going on. Detroit Golf Club. Detroit City FC playing for a championship. The Tigers are home. Get it in, everybody. Just take it all in. We'll be back with more of The Hook right here on Woodward Sports Network.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand.
Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech. The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Final segment of the show here, The Hook on Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl, the television radio voice of the Oakland Golden Grizzlies, TV voice of Detroit City FC, do some national soccer for ESPN as well. Oh, yeah, he's Maz. Tom Mazaway, Darren McCarty, 4-time Stanley Cup champion, proponent of the NHL being back on ESPN. That's a conversation we've had a lot. But happy to have you along with us as we get things rolling. A couple of things we wanted to touch on before we get to Who You Like. It's my favorite segment of the show here on The Hook, namely because I'm 2-0 with a couple of plus 300 winners
Good
on
calls.
it. But
you don't get credit for that, by the way, because I tried that earlier on. I nailed the big one. And
well, you know what I'll do?
Give you credit.
I'll sprinkle everybody some sugar again, and
Good.
we're
looking forward to it.
We'll get back on the horse.
Maybe I'll ride with you this time.
Absolutely, Maz. Some news coming out. You teased it before we went to the break. The NFL hit Dan Snyder with a $10 million fine. The owner of the Washington football team. He's got to step away from the day-to-day operations, but his wife's going to assume control. So I'm sure Dan Snyder will have nothing to do with anything that goes on. He's just going to stay at home, and he's never going to be involved with anything, I'm sure. But his wife will manage the day-to-day operations. And this cat, man, this Dan Snyder guy.
He's something. And you know
He
what?
came in, traded every draft pick, signed Deion Sanders, gave him tons of money, and it's just been downhill.
He also said he would never change the Redskins' name. Unfortunately, FedEx and a bunch of other companies says, well, if you don't.
I would say fortunately, Maz. I mean, come on.
Well, regardless, we could have different views on that. I think it's just a sports team. I don't think it was ever bad to begin with, but that's another thing for another time.
Yeah.
Bring in the Red Tails or bring in the Red Hawks or whatever the hell you want to call them. Nonetheless, he
How about
steps
the
away.
deliveries?
Pardon?
The Washington deliveries for FedEx.
The
you know?
deliveries?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Maybe the old
overnights?
Maybe the Federals, like the old USFL,
Yeah,
Washington
there you
Federals. We'll see. There'll probably be a name popping up here.
Does this feel like
pretty soon.
anything like 10 million?
No.
This is bigger because it's the workplace environment thing, and it was definitely hostile. So 10 million and handing it over to your wife to clean up the damage, it feels so. Again, this feels old school, old boy.
They're
network,
protecting
not
him.
new.
NFL's protecting him.
Yeah.
Now, what he did last year was
a
buy out the minority owners that hated him. He's like, well, F you. I'm just going to buy you out. So he bought him out. He put his wife in charge, and
So
Tanya
this is the next step
is
between
doing it.
before you make him sell them, right? You
I don't
see-
think
To
they're
his
gonna
wife,
sell him.
probably.
I don't think they're going to, to his wife or his brother or
Right.
his son or his daughter.
Yeah.
It's staying in the Snyder family. So we'll see how the Washington shakes out. But the NFL this week, speaking of social media, everyone is getting in. It's Pride Month. It was Pride Month. And the NFL put out this all-inclusive spot. Check it out.
And bravo to the NFL.
Good
bravo
for them. We
to the
said
NFL.
it all
Are you
along,
buying
being
it?
the superpower. When they get ahead of something and stand out in front of it, right, that sets the table or sets the precedent. So, I got to give Roger Goodell and the NFL props for this. There's other things that I'll give him crap about, and I'll give Gary Bettman props for the hire and trying to get more with the times. So,
Was it because Carl Nassib came out?
yes,
first?
absolutely. It's the support. Yes,
Yeah.
it's 100%. But you can go when things happen, and we said it initially when they gave him support and the Raiders gave him support. We're in a different age where now we can accept it, and now we can move forward, led by the leaders. That's the leader, right? Putting that out there, letting you know it's okay. So the whole thing, right? Tony Paul said it. If a kid wakes up today and feels more comfortable to who he or she is, right, then God bless it. And the NFL doing that has made that to say to everybody else, no, this is the way it is.
I'm all for it. I just hope the teammates of these guys will be supportive. That's all.
Yeah, and then
yeah,
there's
but
always.
you can't control that.
No,
Because,
you can't,
But here's the thing, Maz. If it's not, it sure ain't going to get buried like other things. It's right out in the front, so now it's accepted.
Yeah, and there's always a cynicism that I have that sits on my shoulder all the time, and there's a new audience now for the NFL to take into account. There's a new audience.
47% of their audience is female, right? So they realize that the NFL, other than soccer, which worldwide is the family event. Right? We could say out of that you get everybody else to watch, whether it is anybody watching Super Bowl, anything like that. Right? So they realize that.
And that's good. And that certainly is good. And we going back to the whole DCFC discussion, they do a thing during the month of June, the Pride Raiser.
Love it.
Everybody pledges money for every goal that's scored, and the Ruth Ellis Center in Detroit is a benefactor of this. And DMac, look, right when I started doing DCFC matches, like I knew certainly, the LGBTQ community and everybody, I knew of that community, but I didn't know of it.
Right.
And once you get to hear people's stories, when you get in front of people, it can be a very grim situation for some of the, and these are kids, man.
Absolutely.
Like these are kids that have their families turn their back on them, and it, like the hair on my arms is standing up right now, man.
So that's the truth. We're talking about the truth, getting
absolutely.
the truth out, stuff like this. And you know what? As compassion for human beings, it shows you that in some ways we're turning the corner.
Well,
and we've
I know,
matured.
thank God.
We've matured.
Yeah, we are, man.
Thank God, he's right.
It
Stay
feels
woke,
like
yo.
that. Stay woke, yo. No, but it does. But you do get that feeling though when the NFL jumps on board. That's significant. That symbolizes
the biggest train
something.
out there.
That is.
So
that symbolizes
it just
something.
makes everything all right. It's the same.
That's like the president coming out and saying it.
No, it's even more than the president coming out.
I'm just
it's
saying,
bigger
he's pretty
than
powerful.
the president coming out.
It is pretty
Don't
big.
get it twisted.
Because there's universal support for the NFL.
Good point.
You know, it's not
Good point.
it's not factioned off.
Right.
As we said though, coming down the stretch, you're getting ready to wrap this up. It's time for Who You Like. Maz, who you like this weekend?
You know what? Tonight is too tough for me to pick baseball. Great pitching matchups, including the Yankees versus the Mets. Lots of good stuff out there, the Subway Series. But I'm going to split mine. I'm going with the Lightning tonight to win the game. And I'm going tomorrow for the Hawks to win the game. I'm doing a split. Lightning, Hawks, parlay. It's only $235. But hey, because it's $235. People nowadays are idiots. Okay.
Thanks, Maz.
Thank
You're
you.
right.
That wasn't me.
How do you really feel going into this Independence Day?
So I'm going Lightning because people nowadays are idiots.
Okay. And saying that, you and I are on the same page. I got to go Tampa tonight. Yeah.
Very insightful.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mac.
I gave you my insight.
Let's go to Alex for his random
Rewind.
picks.
Alex, give me some rando action.
Yeah, since basketball and hockey are coming to a close soon, I'm making it a habit now that I'm picking 3 random baseball games, but I'm going to also throw in the Montreal Canadiens, the Coupe de Stanley, or however you say it. And my 3 random baseball games go Tampa Bay Rays, Cincinnati Reds, and let's go... Los Angeles Angels.
How'd you do in your Cincinnati Padres bet yesterday?
I don't even... I can look right now.
He got... You talking yesterday?
Yeah.
2-1.
Okay.
See, I'm above 500 every time I pick random baseball games. So.
Fish, what do you got? Who you like?
I got New Zealand over Tonga tomorrow.
What's the price on that?
I don't know what the price is.
Yeah.
It's pretty low because they're going to beat the living bleep out of them.
Yeah, probably be better off covering the number, I guess. You take the spread on the...
Take DCFC over
Hold
LA.
on. Now,
And that one, too.
Now, the man with the undefeated record.
That's right.
Going to, where is the Ruhl dog?
All right, who I like. Here's one for you guys. Now, stay with me on this one. Lightning Habs tonight. Here's the way you play this, Maz. You take the Habs to score first, okay? Bet the Habs to score first. Then when they do, you jump back on. You take the Lightning and the live bet. You'll probably be able to get them, pretty much even.
Yeah.
Actually, probably plus money when they're behind. You're going to get the Habs at plus money to score first. You flip it. You play the heel. You get the Lightning on the live bet. Plus money there. Boom, boom. We're sweeping it home again today.
I like that, man.
I can go with that. I can go with that.
Yeah. So
You like
And then if
You're
you
like
want,
Jimmy
hey,
the Greek.
I'll even tell you, Suzuki to score if you want to get really crappy.
Yeah, to sprinkle some sugar on it.
Sugar it up.
Sprinkle some sugar on DMac Suzuki
I'll go with
to score
Gallagher.
first.
Cole Caulfield.
Yeah, whoever you want to do.
Hey, the combination of those 3 guys' height might be 6 feet.
Yep.
Right? Exactly.
Absolutely.
They're all little guys.
Absolutely.
Anyways.
It's a new
Great
game,
job
D-Mac.
on DCFC Friday, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely,
Thank
guys. As always, it was a ton of fun hanging out with y'all. PIlar will be back, but for our entire crew here at Woodward Sports, certainly Alex, Fish, DMac, Maz, Tom, Mazway, big thank you to all the listeners, all the watchers, everybody out there for interacting with the show. You've watched The Hook. Have a great 4th, everyone, right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
Don't look now, but guess who's making a race of it in the NFC Central Division? The Detroit Lions bounced back from a humiliating shutout at the hands of Dallas 2 weeks ago to whitewash the San Diego Chargers 20-0. Rather than challenge the Chargers' tough pass defense, Detroit stayed almost exclusively on the ground, passing only 7 times while utilizing their new setback tandem of Marv Hubbard and rookie Rick Kane, number 32.